Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Dark Knight Rises. This is your host, Bane. As you know, I'm a big guy for you, so for the next step of my master plan, I will force everyone to see the last chapter in the Nolan Batman trilogy. I'm sure everyone will love it.
Yeah.
No!
I mean, it's not like the worst superhero film. It's not like it's ranked among worst superhero films ever or anything. It's
But
just
it is one of the most tragic disappointments, superhero film wise. Will explain more. Anyway,
yeah.
Bane,
It's
take
not
us
it's
away
it's
with the
it's,
countdown.
it's not
Of
Superman 4.
course. As usual, start before the Warner Brothers logo. 3, 2, 1, click.
Uh,
Oh boy, Nolan, you flew too close to the sun, or I guess the
Well,
darkness
there's
on this
also the
one.
thing, Joe. There was a huge time gap in between movies, if I recall correctly.
plus he was probably, you remember, he did Inception 2 years prior.
I think the Katanga was consistent between the three movies. Like, there was 3 years between Begins and The Dark Knight, and 3 years between The Dark Knight and Rises. But still, things changed in the meantime. Of course, the sad passing away of Heath Ledger was a major problem because supposedly the Joker was supposed to come back, and development of this movie went all over the place. But I'll get into it later. For
So,
now,
yeah.
we start with a scene that has gone through the legends essentially. Um, well, of course, there's the title first, but the very first sequence that happens is legendary along in the internet for different reasons. Of course, right? There's Jim Gordon's speech after Ari Dent's death.
Yeah. Hey,
But there's a bit of a time skip between the movie, like in terms of the events of the movies, I think.
well, hey, at least this time they established a time gap, unlike Dark Knight's beginning. But
Oh, here we go.
besides the point.
Okay. One thing about this movie on a technical level that's really odd. It keeps changing aspect ratios like every minute.
Didn't Dark Knight also have that issue?
Yeah, but this film also does it.
By the
More, I'm
way, this
guessing.
guy,
Oh, it's
CIA,
Littlefinger.
yeah, or the guy from Quantum Break, the villain, I keep forgetting the name.
It's
Damn.
sad that
They
that's what I remember him from.
they casted him for a role that lasts like 5 minutes from the beginning in a sequence that has no Batman whatsoever, and yet he's come to legendary territory because of just the memes. And you know what?
So he had to,
It's worth it. People remember, including me, remember every single line of dialogue in perfect order. I don't know what it is.
Is it
Of
because
this
it's
scene
I
little?
that's
gotta
so
say, Joe,
amazing.
I gotta
Is
say, guys, those cliffs look really English to be American.
well, wait,
Honestly,
hold on,
it
wait. Is
reminded
this
me
in
more
him?
of New Zealand.
Yeah. Is this even supposed to take place in America? This scene?
Yes,
It is.
yeah.
I
And
wouldn't
yet
have
those
known.
cliffs are something I usually see when I'm going to Wales or
So,
something in the
so
car.
yeah, CIA plan here is to interrogate the suspect in order to find out of this terrorist called just Bane.
Bane.
Hmm. I don't know, because we're in a superhero world, supposedly. And here we go. And here's the first major problem with the
Just
movie. Tom Hardy trapped in a bondage suit,
you
essentially.
know, I got a question to you. What is it with Tom Hardy getting movies where his face is supposed to get
No
covered a
idea,
lot?
especially from Warner Bros.
Yeah,
And-
he did it again in Mad Max later on, although it was only like for a bit.
And then
By the way, someone
supposedly,
actually made an edit of this scene with Joker from Persona 5.
All
yeah.
right. There is okay. During test screenings of the movie, no one could understand what the hell Tom Hardy was saying. So they had Tom Hardy ADR over all his lines before the film was released, and we still can't
For
understand
you.
really what he's saying half the time.
And even when we can understand what he's saying, I'm sorry, whose idea was it to go for Darth Vader fused with Sean Connery?
Christopher Nolan, he's a director.
Apparently.
Of course.
And yes, by the way, you skipped it a bit, but essentially, they also made I don't know if it was a fault of the screenwriter or it was intentional, but they made an accidental innuendo that also has become legendary.
Oops. You know, and just like in Dark Knight, it turns out, oh, the criminal we were hearing about turned out to be with them all along.
Not just that, apparently,
there's
yeah,
this
there
bit.
goes his master plan.
With how many
Wow.
survivors,
Go.
Bane?
Yeah, 0%. I actually wonder, considering Nolan is very practical, how did he manage to pull this scene off? Like,
Because,
obviously, he probably couldn't go on, with the real planes and shit. But I wonder how he managed to pull it, like in a hangar or something.
well, Nolan had the. Well, you know Nolan. He's always been a very practical, effects-driven guy.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Ow.
Like,
Ow.
obviously, the inside scene are filmed somewhere else, obviously.
So it's like the reason people remember the scene mainly because of Littlefinger.
Oh, and the dialogues and everything. Like, it's a combination of elements. Bane's attitude, which is used to introduce the character, essentially. His ability to, troll CIA
How
big
did that
time
not
with his
blow
master
up?
plan.
How did that not blow up the whole plane?
Oh, well.
Localize the charge mines, Dweebs. That's how it works.
Oh, would you look at that? They've got a body bag.
Yeah, in order to fake the, like... You know what's the funny thing? I don't know when it happened, because I need to check better the news. But let's just say that in Europe, a German plane actually crashed with reportedly no survivors. The code name of the plane, the starting code name was literally 4U, the number 4 and the letter U, and it crashed near a French town called Les Bains.
Wow.
People on the internet jumped their own shit, like, you have no idea.
So yeah, they're gonna sacrifice this guy because
It makes sense. We need to find a scapegoat and everything, and this guy apparently is willing to do it. Thank you.
You're not.
about
Isn't
an
that,
hour or so.
Isn't that more?
Stop screaming.
Isn't that more so Scarecrow's thing though?
Yeah.
So okay.
Poor Scarecrow. After Batman Begins, he really got the shaft in these movies.
We'll get to him, Joe. Dweebs, don't
Okay.
worry.
Well, I do like this opening scene. I will say it is a bit eerily similar to how Dark Knight opens with, oh, they're talking about the Joker, but it turns out the Joker was along with them. The Joker states how he's starting stuff out. Okay, let's start off with how the development... Oh, wait, hold on. Are we getting the speech?
Yeah. Essentially, Jim Gordon wants to... there's a party at Wayne Manor, and they're commemorating the memory of Harvey Dent.
Now, as you may
also, one thing that's a bit weird is they used Chicago in filming the last movie, as well as I think Batman Begins did that as well. But in this film, Gotham's depicted by Pittsburgh.
Of course.
And doesn't it also have some shots from England too?
Well, it's Newark, New Jersey, and then there's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Which, I'll be quite honest, those two
and also London and Glasgow.
Who the heck is that decorated officer?
No idea.
I mean, he apparently holds some authority, yet he wasn't in any of the previous films.
He's a man.
Okay.
Just like Harvey Dent, who in the original Batman movies, who started as a black guy and then turned into Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay. As you may recall, folks, while we, for the most part, really enjoyed Dark Knight, if there's one problem I recall all three of us having, it was the ending of Dark Knight.
Which it was most like the movie stopping rather than actually having an ending.
Yeah, and again, it was supposed to have a better conclusion than the one we got, but
Yeah, real life stuff sadly undermined it.
I'll admit, this is one of the issues with relying on the sequel to wrap up a plot point. I mean, I know there's always a risk, but let's be quite honest. Dark Knight feels like it's... Okay, Dark Knight feels like it could have come up with a better climax near the end. Why do I bring this up? Because that sort of affects this movie. See, yeah, originally Joker was supposed to return for this movie. Heath Ledger died, and the film got put on hold. So, they had to scramble around, and I'm gonna be quite honest, a lot of the old script that they had in mind shows. Because...
Yeah, apparently they changed they had several ideas for the villain to use. One early script was Victor Zsasz, which, in case you don't know, is just a psychopath with a knife.
My favorite one was with the Penguin.
Yeah, another one had Great White Shark, another one had Black Mask. So good ideas overall in terms of trying to go for a more psychological and boss-like villain that actually managed to rally people under his influence.
Well, there was
And
also
then they chose Bane, which, yeah, I know, even in the original Nightfall story, he was more than just a brute with a mask, but he's not that intelligent to
Well, I
put
mean,
in this kind of setting.
it's more entertaining to watch than his Batman and Robin incarnation, but that's not exactly the same.
yeah.
Obviously, but that's because the Batman reincarnation was the opposite extreme. It was simplifying it. Also, since we need to wrap things up, let's introduce like a fuck ton of Batman characters at the same time, but had no build up whatsoever from before. Like saying that waiters from before, she's Selina Kyle. In case you don't know, that's Catwoman.
And this is
so,
Miranda, Bruce's new love interest.
which I'm not gonna tell the proper name, because it will be a spoiler and it's titled later on.
She's played by that woman from Assassin's Creed, the movie. So her career went downhill after this.
Pretty much.
I thought Catwoman was Patience Phillips.
No, dweebs, we do not talk about that. Like, if I have to be honest, this version of Catwoman is probably the closest you're gonna get, and even then, it's quite disappointing.
Yeah.
Seems the only people who seem to get to Catwoman were the people of the animated series and the Arkham games.
And the 60s show.
True.
The 60s show did it better, and that Catwoman had like 3 different facelifts. One of them turned her black.
Oh, joy. Anyway, hey, Bruce.
So yeah,
Bruce is a
somehow
Bruce is a recluse.
who somehow managed to hurt his. Okay, he didn't look this banged up after the end of Dark Knight.
Hey, have I seen you before? You look like the princess of that made-up country.
I mean, look, he's on a walking stick. When did he eat that at the end of Dark Knight Rises? Did he hurt his knee while escaping from the police?
Remember, he got his leg hurt and shot by Harvey Dent. But here's the thing.
But he was walking just fine there.
Not just that, as we will see, a bit of time has passed since the events of the Dark Knight, obviously like months, I think.
Years.
Yeah, and he has this condition. But later on, when he comes to go back to the action, he will conveniently find a way to fix that.
Uh-oh, looks like somebody stole his mother's pearls. Don't you mess with his parents' stuff. And she wore them on her neck like an idiot.
Check your,
she's not exactly being very subtle about it, is
she? You got a Scooby clue, I guess.
And I wouldn't have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for that meddling Wayne.
Ow.
Nope.
And so, Bruce, maybe you should have gotten that leg looked at all these years.
That ass, at least he saw that ass. So,
you know, Bruce, maybe you should get tighter security.
Also, yeah, Batman, everyone, the greatest detective in the world, and also the best superhero, at least when it comes to badass human being, completely demolished by a maiden.
And his mother's pearls. This is what gets him back into the action of things.
Because, of course, if you wanna trigger Bruce Wayne, you need to talk about his parents.
Yeah, Gotham's falling apart, none of my problem. You stole my mother's pearls, it's on.
It's
bitch.
personal, mate.
Now, okay, apparently after Harvey Dent died and his sacrifice was considered heroic, there was apparently something called the Harvey Dent Act, which helped clean up crime on Gotham to the point where Arkham Asylum is no more and pretty much everyone goes to prison when they're guilty or something like that.
And that's a weird reference because it's I checked in the meantime, it's a reference to a story called Batman the Cult, where a character called the Deacon Blackfire manages to rally up a cult, the name we have, that actually has the better, moral ground and manages to almost completely clean the city of Gotham from criminals, and almost manages to make Bruce Wayne quit being Batman for good.
Shame
Like,
Arkham Knight kind of screwed up Deacon Blackfire's spiel.
it was like a satire on that. I don't understand what Rocksteady was thinking with that.
This is that's a problem with Rocksteady, and don't worry, folks. A lot of problems I have with Arkham Knight overlap with problems of this. And hi, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
He plays
Okay,
a special character.
Okay, to be fair, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's good in the movie. He's good in the movie.
He's good. Let's just say, and honestly, surprisingly, the problems I have with this character are more so near the end. Although I will say this, he's kind of a Gary Stu. I don't mean it in a sense that he's a terrible character, but just pay attention to the film overall. Oh. Well, where do you think he is, Alfred? Also, I'm sorry.
Master Wayne, where are you?
I'm sorry, but here's my question.
No idea.
Okay, so Bruce decided to give up being Batman at the end of Dark Knight. Why did he need to become a recluse?
Because he's depressed and stuff. Because he
Like,
lost Rachel and...
Hey, it's not like you could, help clean up Gotham like your parents did by being a businessman still.
Yeah.
Or hell, if you're such a recluse and you got the gross moustache, why not actually clean up Gotham by picking litter up off the floor or something?
See, now, if this were continuing the
And
struggle...
also, hey guys, stop the presses. Batman actually doing some detective work.
What?
Oh my
No.
God. Yeah, okay, look, if this were like maybe continuing the struggles with the Joker, I could see Bruce becoming tired as all heck from the Joker still being around and causing trouble, and that's why he might become a recluse. But Joker ain't the villain of this movie, and Gotham's been pretty squeaky clean, so if anything, Bruce should be happy that he's honoring his parents' memories.
But no, he's all angsty because, well...
Is he sad that he can't be Batman anymore? I thought that was his goal, to make a Gotham that didn't need Batman anymore. Okay, I'm gonna be quite honest. I get that.
Batman back
Okay.
for these reasons.
Also, I see what Dubs is talking about. This movie is now in black bar mode, even though it was full screen mode a while ago. Thanks, Dwibs. Now I realize
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's a gift or a curse.
That's my issue with the whole IMAX craze at the moment. Because they only film bits of the film in IMAX, they keep adjusting the aspect ratios, and it's really distracting. Either film the whole movie in one format. Just film it all in one format. Don't switch between both. It's distracting as hell.
Yeah, if anything, wouldn't it be beneficial to just stick in the IMAX format since that's full screen anyway? Oh yeah, 7 years. Or is he talking about Batman Begins?
That was during his disappearance.
Oh boy,
during Batman Begins.
Remember? Okay, so
his
apparently,
very
while
specific vision of Batman.
Okay,
Bruce, sorry.
Can I talk about this? Why does Alfred always have these weird fan fictions about Bruce? Like,
Yeah, he
seriously,
wants to go in Italy, drink Brancamenta. Why?
and see Bruce with a wife.
Like,
What?
Bruce is not anymore like a teenager. You shouldn't have these kind of ideas.
Apparently, this is what he was dreaming while Bruce was missing during the start of Batman Begins.
Which also
So-
contradicts a lot what the character of Alfred always is.
I mean, okay, look, I'd say stuff like Arkham Origins got it good. Alfred, while definitely worried for Bruce's sake to the point where he's a bit reluctant against allowing Bruce to do this, at his core, he is one of Bruce's greatest supporters.
Yeah.
To be honest, in this movie,
Hello,
even-
Pittsburgh.
And the sad thing is, Batman Begins and Dark Knight were doing this well enough. If anything, the end of Batman Begins was Alfred realizing that Bruce needs this. Yeah.
Okay, I've never been to any of these towns or cities where they film in, but at times it's pretty clear it's not the same place.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and
That's the
Chicago
thing
are...
with every town has their own landmarks. For example, when you think Pittsburgh, usually you think the chimneys, the factories, and stuff like that.
And if you wanted
Chicago.
to place in, if you had to go to Pennsylvania to do this kind of stuff, why not Philadelphia?
No idea. Okay.
If you're wondering why we're really disappointed, folks, a bit of backstory. This film was hyped up big time because not only... Oh, wait, hold on.
Well, it had big shoes to fill, but yeah. There you go, people want Batman to be back.
Why? I mean, the city's apparently cleaned up.
Maybe we just
But
want
it's
to see
not
someone
clean.
roaming around in costume.
You know,
Yeah,
again,
but now they'll take it so that it's literally not clean. There's litter all over the place. They want Batman to clean it up.
I mean, Nolan, did you really want to use that original script so badly? Because, okay, look, I don't have confirmation, but again, this feels like this would make sense if the Joker were still around and kicking. Like, apparently Joker's dead.
Yeah,
Which-
that's also the
yeah.
problem due to Heath Ledger's death, and Nolan didn't want it to, get him back stuff. The Joker kind of died off screen.
Here's the thing, though. Even if Joker died, they could have done what Batman Triumphant was going to do before it got canned. Have, a follower of Joker, essentially Harley Quinn, take his place and whatnot. And, then continue the whole chaos and stuff.
Also, one thing you're going to be seeing a lot in this movie, and I think the other two films had this issue as well from time to time. This film kind of stretches the credibility of its realistic world.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's part of the reason why they picked Bane. But we'll get to that in a bit. For now, okay, I'm going to be quite honest. As a character, I like the Selina Kyle not much. In fact, heck, I can't believe I'm saying this. For as terrible as the Catwoman 2004 movie was, I was more sympathetic with Patience than I am with this Selina Kyle.
Well, it helps that film had nothing to do with
Pretty much.
See, part of
only the name.
If there's one issue I've always had with the Batman and Catwoman relationship, it's that it's double standards on Batman's part. Selina Kyle, yeah, she does some good, but she's still a bad guy.
It's Batman literally thinking with his, bat tongue.
That's part of the reason why I prefer Batman and Wonder Woman. Also, this movie takes the worst qualities of Selina Kyle, in my opinion. She's downright greedy in this film. Yes, despite what
That's
the film
kind
tries
of
to
the
tell
whole
you.
character in general, because, she's a thief and stuff like that.
But deals like, well, most times in comics,
But yeah, she had always more motivations and personal reason to, kill. Not kill. Well, she also doesn't kill, but in a sense, she had reasons for, stealing from people.
and now we
rich
changed
guys.
aspect ratios in the same scene.
Sometimes she has like a Robin Hood motivation. Other times she has just a personal vengeance.
and then
shit
there are
like
the
that.
times where she actually is helping other women in need.
Yeah, including like her friend Holly Anson, I think she's called.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, I won't. And also, don't worry, I won't. I won't bring the aspect ratio thing up too many times.
Isn't that clever? She's pretending she's the victim to fool the cops.
Take this, patriarchy.
And
See-
then I'm surprised you don't wonder why, when they go back in the building, why she's gone missing.
Well, they think maybe she just ran away.
Or is a civilian?
Yeah.
The deal I have with this Selina Kyle is like, oh yeah, she does do some good stuff, but essentially her whole goal is just she wants a clean slate, and that apparently justifies everything she does.
Which is a problem.
Yeah, look, when doing a character like Catwoman, you really need to have us be sympathetic, to have us like that character.
Why isn't Levitt wearing any proper body armor?
Plot armor.
Oh, I meant actual armor.
Plot armor. He knows he won't get
He doesn't
hit.
play Reinhardt in Overwatch.
See, here's the deal with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's the rookie, the new guy on the force here.
And now, for some incompetence on part of James Gordon. Poor Jim. I can't seem to find
I mean,
a story that actually treats him the respect he deserves.
And I know officers, even the most experienced ones, can slip up here and there.
Why would you go down in a
That's the
solo
problem with in practically 90% of Batman story. Jim is just the poor sod who gets tangled into things even though he probably doesn't want to, and always gets the short end of a stick, even in the best case scenarios.
The show Gotham really emphasizes on that.
What?
Yeah. Props also to Gary Oldman for maintaining the role and actually give it an identity.
Yeah, if I can give this movie one credit, it definitely gets the suffering of Jim Gordon down pat.
Yeah, we say that at this moment, at the time of this recording, because unfortunately J.K. Simmons hasn't really been given the chance to do
Looks-
anything with Jim Gordon yet.
Wait, wasn't he in Justice? Oh God, Gordon only shows up for a few seconds, doesn't he?
He's,
Yeah.
he's in like 2 scenes.
Shame they couldn't put for this trilogy the character of Barbara, but
Oh yeah, there's that decorated officer guy. God, might as well look up his character name.
But yeah, like a complete moron. Sorry, that's kind of what it is. James managed to going Leroy Jenkins only managed to get himself caught by Bane's goons.
Why they brought him there instead of killing him?
Well, they have reasons.
Well, it's like Bane in this movie. Okay, aside from his goal of destroying Gotham, I think
That's not
just wants
his
to be
goal yet.
he just wants to be a giant. He wants to be just wants to be a giant dick.
Also, props also to Tom Hardy for managing to get this body building for this movie. Again, it seems to be
the police commissioner here right before me,
it seems like a requirement for a couple of the actors involved is like Christian Bale having to, gain that enough weight to be Batman and body mass.
So yeah, because he brought the commissioner right to Bane's doorstep.
Idiots.
Yeah, so the commissioner could clearly see Bane right in front of him. He killed one of his henchmen.
Oh,
But unfortunately, Jim was still carrying that speech that he didn't finish.
Why would you carry that around with you everywhere you go? Why not store it in like a safe or a cupboard or somewhere? Oh, it'd be more secure at home under the mattress.
maybe Jim Gordon was hoping he could pull a Theodore Roosevelt. True story, actually. Theodore Roosevelt once got shot, but he had such a thick speech that he was about to give that his speech saved him. We're kind of idiotic like that, even though there's really only one way down that sewage line.
Yeah, here's also another thing. Usually usually there's a reason why Bane has the muscular body and the mask. It's because he has a dependence for a drug called Venom, and he kind of needs it to build his body, but becomes, addicted to it, all that sort of shit.
Because we all know Bane was the best.
That's not realistic enough.
Yeah. Dwibs, why
So
don't you
instead
read off the reason?
So, okay, he hasn't... I don't know if I can find a read on Wikipedia, but...
It should be under something to do with Venom, Tom Hardy mentioning something. It also mentions the whole mask thing.
Like, I understand I can understand the idea that
God,
the Venom thing is too realistic for portraying the bad.
Hold on,
for
this
the trilogy.
scene.
Sorry. I'm sorry, mister. Can you speak up a bit?
Sorry, I'm too busy thinking about directing my next movie.
Killer Croc reference.
Shouldn't it have been crocodiles? Yeah, whatever.
All it
Alligators, I guess, are the New York
all it
thing.
mentions here is that he wears the mask that pumps in an anesthetic for the pain.
Yeah.
I thought they meant... Yeah, look.
No, that's the reason, but I'll mention a bit later.
So here he just really likes going to the gym.
Hold on, just a second. Yeah, keep those informations in mind for the end of the movie.
That's right, this guy's an orphan.
Yeah, I can relate to you, Bats.
Be angsty.
In your bones. What was Nolan on when he wrote this?
I have no idea.
Oh, Nolan and his brother and David Goyer.
Speaking as someone who just saw Black Panther, I'll just say Black Panther did this better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you seen it too, Tio?
No,
I have.
Probably going to next week.
Nice.
I have.
Wait.
Yeah, that look on Bane's face says all. I'm sorry. Can you just
about me being a billionaire orphan? The orphan part's still there, you asshole.
So,
I'm sorry. Can you take your fanboys and get the fuck out of here? You're done?
Yep,
But yeah,
turns
what a
out this
shock.
guy was
Apparently,
somehow smart
yeah.
enough to guess that Bruce is Batman, even when Jim Gordon, the same
Bullshit.
guy who actually took Bruce in, comforted him in his parents' murder. You're telling me
Did
that...
Gordon did Gordon Levitt read the script for the last movie or something?
And now, audience, this comes to one of the...
Character.
Not just that. The trait of a character being smart enough to discover Batman identity,
That's
it is
fine.
there, but it's reserved for a villain called Hugo Strange, which makes me wonder if another round of the script actually had this idea in mind, or instead of including him as the main villain instead of Bane.
That's actually a good point, because, okay, Arkham Asylum is apparently no more now. Part of me wonders if that was sort of a last-minute edit, since my guess is they were actually going to have Joker do his Arkham Asylum stuff in the sequel. Although, okay, here's another problem. Maybe I wouldn't mind a character finding out Bruce is Batman if it were maybe Jim Gordon, someone who's known him longer.
And the method was legit instead of, I just did some association and I got a lucky guess.
Like, seriously. Even College Humor, when they did a parody off of Batman Begins, has Jim Gordon piecing together that Bruce Wayne is Batman, because hey, rich kid loses parents, Batman talks about justice.
What about the leg?
So apparently his body is an absolute wreck, even though he can walk around. Even though all he needs to walk around is a walking stick, apparently.
Not just that. Apparently, Christian Bale has turned into the protagonist of American Psycho for this scene, I guess.
Despite all those injuries, he can do this perfectly fine.
Yeah, his body's been torn apart, and yet he can abseil into another hospital room just fine.
And why? Just so you can talk with Jim?
No one wanted to show he can do an abseiling scene in the building.
Okay.
He blew a whole building up in the last movie, though.
Patrick Bateman, that's what he's called.
Also, wow, hey, Bats, I didn't know you were into dressing up in a suit and tie now.
With that thing on his head, it reminds me of that guy from that Counter-Strike in real-life video that goes, enemy spot.
So now the Batman has to come back.
Of course. Hi, Selena, again with the shit of your pearls.
She did.
Yeah.
Okay.
She took my wallet.
Yeah, apparently this movie wants to insert Holly Henderson, which is a supporting character of Catwoman. I normally wouldn't have no problem with this, except that they chose this and instead did not include it or change it heavily so many other supporting characters. So
also,
I'm sorry, I'm starting to see a problem.
Also, why am I supposed to support the woman who beat up a man who's demanding his wallet from a woman who stole his wallet?
Because female empowerment?
That's another problem with Catwoman. Whenever... Okay, I'm not saying that all
You were saying she's a straw feminist?
Yeah, she tends to be at times. Which admittedly is a character flaw when people recognize it as a character flaw. Then some writers just treat it as it's empowering. Oh, hi, Miranda. So we have Miranda, who's Bruce's new love interest, in a movie that also has Selena Kyle, who's one of Batman's usual love interests.
Also, I fucked up with the name. The character is actually called Holly Robinson. My bad.
I'm not sure what nationality her character's supposed to be. I know Marion Cotillard's French.
Is she part Indian? Because she has, like, the thing on her forehead. Or is that a mole?
It's a black spot, Jova.
It's a mole. And yes, she's French.
Home.
That felt like the leftover table scraps from the dancing in Batman Returns.
And now apparently we're in 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, speaking of Batman Returns...
Her ribbon looks like she has cat ears. Clever.
Because I'm Catwoman.
Why are you even cat-themed?
Yeah, they gave no reason. I mean, The reason the comic book wanted to call her Catwoman was still stupid, but at least there was one. Here, she just does. Sure.
Apparently the writers didn't. Actually, I do. I know you're a princess from a foreign nation where Stan Lee showed up.
And wrecked the whole Marvel canon.
Yeah. And I also know that you hooked up with somehow Steve Trevor.
Yeah. Also, apparently this is turning into the Avengers 1998 movie with the pointless bickering.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least Gotham actually has people in it. Seriously,
And
what
was better hamming.
was with that film evacuating the whole city of London?
It was ahead of its time, dude.
Oh, I found an article. Let's see. Dark Knight Rises. Christopher Nolan opens up about Bane choice. I'll see if this has something to say. And God, that was 6 years ago. This movie is so old.
Yeah.
6 years. Actually, funnily enough, this is actually the first of this trilogy of movies that I saw in the cinema.
Ooh.
And since these kind of movies are supposed to help people who might not have seen the previous two,
apparently Nolan was very emotional about this. According to the article, he put a lot of work into this.
well, of course he would be. But yeah, they are still my mum's, so I need them back.
So
And
please.
there's a bit of fan service for the Catwoman Batman shippers.
That totally wasn't the I'm stealing something from you form of kiss, now was it?
Yeah. I don't even know how we managed to pull it off.
Your wife?
Here we go.
Your wife?
And she stole the Bruce Wayne's car.
So you're telling me that someone can get away with stealing a car from the famous Bruce Wayne?
You wouldn't download a car.
Really? There's no verification or anything.
Like, I'm sorry.
This is the guy owning Wayne Tech. You think he would have like a vocal command or some shit?
I mean,
yeah, Lucius, you did a terrible job.
Lucius, one of the best things of this movie.
Well, considering who plays them.
Obviously, please remember, every time Morgan Freeman blesses us with his speeches, he gains a freckle.
Now, maybe we talked over it, but did they ever explain why Bruce is now getting back? Oh, wait, that's right. He had a talk with Jim Gordon about this Bane guy. Okay, fair enough.
Christ, Morgan Freeman's 80 now.
And yet he's still kicking. Just look at him.
Well, again, Michael Caine's a little bit older than he is.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check how old he is. He's 84.
Wow.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's right. There's another super duper machine that Wayne Tech has been having and holding.
Okay, what's this trilogy's fascination with having the big plot MacGuffin be a giant machine?
Also, Lucius, didn't you make a whole speech about handing in your resignation after using that phone thing that you apparently disagreed with Bruce on?
Yeah.
Apparently either he forgot or he changed his mind.
So they bothered to follow up on the ending that a lot of people didn't like from Dark Knight, yet they couldn't remember some crucial elements from it.
Or they didn't bother to went through with them.
You know, okay, you don't want to go for stuff that's fine, but at least explain those developments.
Of course. Foreshadowing.
Of course, keep them from falling into the wrong hands.
Showing up now. Wow, has he got this time?
Essentially the Batwing.
Which they're not showing to us yet.
Yep, the uber-realistic Batwing.
Okay, probably a good time to mention realism was a driving force of this Batman trilogy. Now, back when it was starting up, it helped out with the trailer. Like the first teaser trailer, Batman Begins, everyone thought it was a horror film until Batman shows up. That was used to good effect. And I guess it worked well enough with Dark Knight, even though we kind of have a man who's.
It's a thing staple with Batman, Joe, in a sense that thanks to the various iterations that the character had, you can put it in every kind
Oh.
of setting. Yeah, I am getting there, Dweebs. You can put it in any kind of setting and it will still work. Hell, we're even making an anime where Batman and the Joker and supporting characters get transported to feudal Japan, and even then seem to be working.
Here's the
So-
problem.
So yeah, in
Anyway,
this realistic movie has Batman's, as Bruce's leg injuries. In fact, all of his injuries actually be magically healed by a knee brace.
tutor.
This
yeah.
begs the question, if he could make an exoskeleton, why didn't he do that from the get-go?
It's not even an exoskeleton; it's just a magic knee brace.
If only King Regis
Oh.
had that. And a new suit.
Man rises from the darkness.
It's called The Dark Knight Rises, after all.
What a story, Dweebs.
Oh, Bane was trained by Ra's al Ghul. Conveniently not mentioned.
Continuity.
So let's see, just like Dark Knight, we have a guy who kind of comes out of nowhere and is, I don't know, doing stuff in the city.
Yeah.
Alfred, you just stated a problem here. If he can do that lickety split, there shouldn't be much of a problem.
Unless
Don't
he's,
you know, Joe,
unless
it's
he's
what
blind or
inside of us
something.
that counts.
And like Dubs mentioned, it's parts like this that kind of make the whole insistence of being realistic thing a bit frustrating. Okay, because apparently realism is part of the reason why we didn't get certain villains that a lot of fans were clamoring for, like, say, Clayface, Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy, yeah.
So,
Well, on one hand, I may understand, again, putting Batman under this new light and trying to go according to it, and you have a more easy target because Batman, by his own definition, his supporting characters and his rogues gallery are much more toned down and realistic when it comes to the DC universe compared
Speaking
to stuff
of,
like Superman or Green Lantern.
Speaking of Target,
Yeah, apparently we're in the
the Gotham Stock Exchange.
yeah, apparently we're at the end of
Wall
switching
Street.
places. Also, Red Hood, what are you doing here?
It's a nice homage, I guess.
He's not even properly touching the shoe, is he?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it actually works, but still.
Yeah, apparently Bane manages to infiltrate these people inside the place all over thanks to being disguised like that.
And yeah, no one inside the stock exchange itself heard that gunshot.
Don't you see, Dweebs? The stock exchanges are more important. Here we go.
Okay, they hear that now, though.
Greetings, this is a stick-up.
You've just been punked! Can you want to remove that hand from your crotch, please? Yeah. Irony. Ow.
That was necessary.
So yeah, we're copying all the data from the stock exchange. Why? Bane, of course, has his master plan.
He's gonna commit that dastardly deed. He's gonna bankrupt Bruce Wayne.
Well, it's kind of a reference to the 60s Silver Age stories when a villain will go just rob a bank traditionally.
Yeah.
But that's the Silver Age. This is 2012.
Trust me, dweebs, when I say this. Grant Morrison find a way to make a transposition of those concepts exceeding with cool colors. So trust me, there is a way to do this kind of shit. Okay, thanks, bye.
It's under the mattress. Did no one for that line get inspiration from that bit in SpongeBob where Squidward said, "Let me guess, is at home under your mattress?"
Funnily enough, that's a thing a lot of people during the Depression kind of did because banks were crashing, so it was safer to keep your money stuffed in a mattress.
Yeah. Yeah, please. Also, yeah, our agent
Okay,
is...
you can't back it
The
up.
agent who managed to figure Batman's secret identity can figure that that guy is clearly another infiltrated spy thing.
And now they're trapped.
You know, Bane, maybe you could have just done the stuff from behind the scenes like you've been doing most of your stuff.
Yeah,
Like, you're
more,
not the
you know,
Joker, you don't
subtly.
need to cause chaos yet. Again, this
And
feels
now
like...
you can do it via mobile.
Thanks.
This sounds like something Joker would do more. You know, like, I mean, yeah, he doesn't need to, but Joker's all about getting attention.
Two-Face.
The way at least
Yeah,
Bane's
true, even
polite. He said
Two-Face.
thank you to the guy holding his helmet for
Hell,
him.
most of the shtick with Two-Face is rolling around choices, which a lot of them imply just robbing the banks of Gotham.
Unfortunately, Two-Face got killed off before he could really do that much villainistic stuff.
Yeah. It's a party, everyone.
Ow.
Bye.
Help me!
So why are you just taking one guy if you were going to let the other two go?
I have no idea.
Because they wanted to fuck around.
Now, I will mention also, I honestly think that Penguin could have been a better villain for this sort of setting. Like, seriously, Dark Knight had Joker using explosive umbrellas to blow up tanks. Like, how can you do that and not have Penguin show up eventually?
Not just that, if you had to ask me,
Wait, why is it nighttime all of a sudden?
Also, what is the Merovingian doing in this movie?
What's it? He looks like Discount Hugh Laurie.
Oh, hi, Biggs.
Oops.
Or at least
Oh
the guy
boy,
looks
here we
like
go. I love this line from
And
Biggs
there's
coming up.
Batman.
Okay, he's got a
hang
point.
on. Batman's supposed to be our enemy.
To be fair, yeah, this is a point a lot of folks are waiting for, and Batman does make a pretty good entrance.
46
And he
minutes
has a
in.
gun now.
Oh, it's an electronic
Of course.
blaster.
EMP.
Yeah, don't worry. He's technically keeping to his no gun rule, I guess.
So long as it's not a lethal bullet. Sorry.
Sorry. I'm sorry that I shot you, even though you're a wanted man.
Oh no, but new decorated officer guy doesn't like that Batman's own. And I kid you not, folks, he's like the only cop who wants to go after Batman. It's like, yeah, none of the cops really buy that Batman actually killed Dent.
Aside from this guy, I guess. Yeah.
Hey, hey.
Selena, what are you doing here?
Hey, decorated officer guy, but go after Batman.
And at least they got something right from the character, a special pair of goggles that help her, do her heist better. Usually they're reserved for traditional stuff like X-ray vision.
Apparently the cat ears are the goggles.
Yeah. That's stupid.
Seriously though, hey, cop guy, go after Batman who's trying to help you, and ignore Bane who's robbing a bank right before you. Like, okay, I get it. You think that Batman killed Dent. But even
Also,
still,
wow,
maybe you should be sparing some of the police force. Also, how long have these guys been driving? Like I said, it became night.
It became night rather quickly, didn't it?
Like, I get that Batman's contractually obligated to only show up during night scenes, but come on. You don't even know for sure if he killed Harvey Dent, you've just been told. And also, are you just gonna really leave your police force?
Wah, wah.
Oops. Oh, there we go. It's been 8 years since Dark Knight. How nice.
This takes place in 2016? I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing, folks. This movie owes a lot to Dark Knight Rises. why they wanted
This movie
to.
owes a lot to itself.
Oh boy.
Don't you mean Dark Knight?
No, basically, Jibs, this movie takes a lot of inspiration from Dark Knight Rise. Oh, God! Dark Knight,
Dark Knight
Returns. Which
from
is
Frank
also
Miller.
a story. See, though, it makes more sense that Batman's a recluse because, well, he's like gray herring at that point in time.
Not just that he is being a wanted criminal because of a whole Brainiac subplot, but that's a story for our time.
Well, too late. The Gotham Exchange has now been purged, and Bruce's fortune is now worthless.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Good job on the cops diverting all their forces to going after Batman.
So, how is Batman gonna get out of this one?
He's Batman.
He'll fly away or something.
By the way, you're telling me that you never got the tumbler fixed or just used another Batmobile? You just stuck with the cycle?
I guess.
Also, what happened? Also, what the heck happened to Renee Montoya?
Yeah.
Like, cop who sold out Harvey Dent in the first place. What, did she get off scot-free or something?
Not just that, also that's also a nice way to treat the character of question.
Also, yeah, I love how the cops just question he's got guns on his thing. What? And you don't have guns?
Oh, get it? He's trapped like a rat. Just wait for the punchline to come.
Yeah, catch the rat man.
We.
Police GPD.
Yeah, we get it. Stop with the sirens, please. Okay. Doggos.
Specially trained to
We
sniff out
get it. Jesus, man.
Batman.
And there you go. That's the Batwing.
Yep.
There! I think you got the wrong
Really?
animal there! Ha ha ha!
Hilarious.
Again.
So
Wow.
this is, again, this is an issue.
Wah, wah.
So we can't have a character like Penguin who uses all these weird and wacky umbrellas, but no, a flying tank? Whatever that is,
Yeah.
that's okay.
So we can't have the Penguin, but the Batwing's okay.
Also, you want realism, but you take Bane to the point where you have to change up his character. Like, having a Bane that doesn't use the Venom toxin kind of makes you
It's
wonder,
just a
why
waste.
not
Again,
just...
if you want to do a similar villain just without, with a bit less of a physical aspect, go for Black Mask.
And why are you making Bane a part of the League of Shadows either? We were done with that. Well, at least hopefully that's... Oh.
Ugh, really? We're back to the cat puns now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trust me, well, please remember in the 2004 Catwoman movie, they're even worse.
To be fair, cat puns are always a thing for Catwoman. It's
I
the
know, but there is a point of them being, painful.
That's why I said it's the execution that matters here. Some do it better than others. Michelle Pfeiffer did it better, I'll just say. Stop right there, criminal scum!
Yeah.
Ow.
Well, actually, the actor who played the Hugh lookalike is Ben Mendelsohn, aka the Grand General, the guy in the white coat from Rogue One.
Thought I'd seen him from somewhere.
Yeah, he's in Rogue One.
You lie!
Are you?
What's it with this film series and casting and like half its actors who are meant to be playing American characters are Brits? Christian Bale, Gary Oldman, Ben Mendelsohn. Quite a few. I mean, I know Nolan's British himself, but a bit odd.
Yeah. Also, I love how Catwoman tried to do her own version of the gruff voice.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, Bale.
Oh,
No.
God. Okay. In Batman Begins, that voice was wonky, but he was starting off. In Dark Knight, it was getting a bit sillier, but at least his actions and mannerisms canceled that out. In Dark Knight Rises, though, it's like they were intentionally making it silly.
Yeah,
Hell,
the memes,
Batman v
Jack.
It's bad when Batman v Superman actually
Final
provides an
better
explanation
yeah.
as to why his voice sounds
In
odd.
fact, if I recall
Yeah.
correctly, one of the critical pannings of this film was the collection of all these stupid-sounding voices clashing with scenes terribly. Oh, hi, Bane.
Yeah.
Also, someone's singing in the background.
It's his leitmotif,
yeah.
I think.
It's Hans Zimmer and his choir.
I just wanted to enjoy the scenery. Bye.
Okay.
You know, I could have brought a rocket launcher and shot the thing down, but I guess we don't have enough
Hilarious
of
considering Batman,
Sorry.
Batman Arkham Origins, Bane does exactly that.
You know, here's the thing about Bane. Despite him being muscle-bound, he could be a clever, tricky crime boss here and there. That was part of the charm
but
to him.
not to the point. Well, this movie kind of flanderized him to that point.
Yeah, this is a problem. For a guy who's supposedly smart, Bane ends up, well, yeah, doing more of that than what we expect Bane to do. So, Batman, you want to arrest her? No, just let her
you
go.
didn't, Catwoman.
I'm sorry, you saved my what now?
Yeah. You saved my wife.
You wanted my Swain
You-
fingerprints?
You saved my wife.
Huh. She sold his fingerprints. Isn't she a
Yeah.
likable character?
Totally.
Yay.
And again, she's doing high aspect ratio. Wow! Why is it that whenever the police are telling Batman, that's the one time they're effective?
Yeah, this
Oh,
happens also
oh.
in Mask of a Phantasm.
Look at that, guys. She managed to sneak away, and he said, so that's how it feels like.
Ah, funny.
Well, Doug, why is he covering his eyes? I think he'd be used to that by now.
He's too old for this shit. Hmm.
There are three what?
I have no idea.
Bale,
No.
is your accent slipping there a bit?
Again,
It's
sometimes,
weird seeing him in
a
the
lot of
Batman
times
costume
he
with
just
the
slips
Batman.
into his Patrick Bateman acting. Seriously, Dreams, if you haven't seen it, go see American Psycho. It's amazing.
You know, an issue with this film, Nolan definitely put a lot of love into this, but I don't know, something about this film feels like it's a bit of a rush job at times. Like, so many of these lines come off like they could use another take. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but again, this movie, okay, compare the love and care put in Dark Knight to this movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. Brain's a mercenary. Wouldn't that imply he's working for someone?
Yeah. Foreshadowing.
Even though that doesn't make any sense.
You know, I just thought of something that came to my mind. Wasn't there a movie recently? No, not recently. Actually, no, never mind. That's off topic. I'll address a
Okay.
more important issue with this film now. Alfred decides, you know what, fuck it, I'm leaving.
Right out
Yeah,
of nowhere.
No, this just doesn't work.
Understand what?
Yeah, what is the point when you're trying to prove that you want your weird fan fictions where you go to Italy? Sorry, Patrick, can you speak up a bit?
Did you mean Christian?
He's talking.
Again, Dweebs, these scenes making his character a bit indistinguishable from Patrick Bateman.
Would you look at that?
Crap. It's like in Spider-Man 3 where he didn't tell it, where the butler didn't tell him about how his father really died until
Yeah,
way later.
So, but it's even worse here, because here, Alfred's trying to use it to break Bruce.
which is wrong on so many levels and totally out of character from Alfred.
Like, Alfred, the only reason you didn't tell Bruce was so that he wouldn't be shattered. And yet you're doing it now. Why? Oh my god, the speech.
No, you don't. It's only your problem in this case, Alfred. Get the
That's-
fuck over
Hey,
with.
Michael Caine's doing such a good job. It's just
This is no. You're right.
Alfred,
Liz.
it's good casting, and he knows how to work.
It's a
as
script
an actor.
here.
It's just the lines that he has to work with.
Not just that, the script and story here, like, god dang it. I mean, even for an AU, this is terrible because, again, Batman Begins was all about Alfred growing to understand that Bruce needed to be Batman. Dark Knight was showing how he developed on that. And in fact, yeah, even he knew that Bruce would break down if he knew about what Rachel had said. So why all of a sudden is he like, you know what, I'm gonna take a 180? And we're supposed to feel sorry for Alfred because he cries. Like, wow.
Yeah.
The more I analyze that, the more I realize that Alfred's just terrible in that scene. Like, I know we're supposed to be mad at Bruce for making
More
Alfred cry,
despicable
but...
or anything, Joe.
Yeah, that is despicable. Oh.
So, yeah.
Speaking of despicable, thanks to a combination of Catwoman stealing his fingerprints and Bane doing his stock market stuff, Bruce is now penniless. Ha, get it? Because Alfred Pennyworth, and now he doesn't have Alfred anymore.
Ha 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 ha. Very, very funny, Joe.
That's a problem. That's a problem with this movie. This movie tries to be more funny and does not do that well. A good job of it. It's like, that's one thing I praise Dark Knight for. It's like, well, it had comedy in it. Well mixed and balanced. So now Bruce has decided, I'm going to show this Miranda chick all this.
Is this like the explanation on how we could manage to move from one place to the other in Dark Knight?
Yeah, they're actually explaining that for Dark Knight.
Also, Lucius, you're showing this place to this girl who, albeit being technically in love with Bruce, may know relatively slowly though.
They've had
Are you sure this is a good idea?
Bruce has had only 2 scenes with her in this movie.
Yeah, I'm sure this will in no way bite them in the ass later on.
They don't even establish that he's known her for a while. As far as this movie goes, he's just getting to know her. Because remember, Bruce has been a recluse. What accent are you going for? I find myself asking, what accent are you going for with these characters a lot? Okay.
This film's falling into me accent slipping
territory, yeah. Alright, Dr. Pavel, the guy who Bane hijacked at the beginning.
So basically, this is supposed to be the ultimate environmental-friendly energy resource machine.
Sure, let's throw that in.
Only shown to the most top-secret of operatives, because Bruce's plan is to give his company to her, and by some legal business matters, that'll keep the company technically in his flow because she'll answer to him. This would have been a nice angle for Pamela Isley, since environmental stuff. They could have even maybe tried to...
but I could never see, a potential relationship working between, Batman and Poison Ivy.
Well, I'm not talking about the relationship-wise. I'm talking about her being a potential villain to play here.
Yeah.
Like, you know what this could have done? Do something like Dark Knight, as in, like, we'll have this be a rogues gallery of villains, just more realistic and stuff. Like, trust me, this movie is plenty long enough. Like, we could have had something where, they're being led by Scarecrow.
Yeah. Yeah, here's an idea. You have Scarecrow on hand, you could try using again and give it a bit more dignity this time around. So yeah, Bruce is being kicked out by Wayne Tech.
So he sits down only to leave like a minute later.
It's all part of the plan.
Also, yeah, his car's being towed.
Yeah.
Miranda Tate.
I'm acting. Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah, that's another good idea, buddy.
yeah, sure. Walk right up to Bane and talk to him like that. I'm sure he'll take it.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder what those construction vehicles are up to. It could be
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. The massive dumb shit that you took.
What is it with Ben Mendelsohn playing characters who try and act tough, but when he's up against his superiors, later on he acts scared stiff?
No
Typecast?
idea.
That was with Darth Vader.
Personal space, Bane. If you just want to kill it, do it now. Sure.
Gotham's Reckoning. What?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yikes.
And that's it, it's
Also,
time for the movie.
How
sorry.
is he still alive to scream after
Yeah,
having
that's
his
the
neck
thing.
snapped?
If you break the neck, you should die instantly. Isn't that
I guess Mendelsohn wanted to scream.
Nolan basic biology research? Come on.
Oh, you did that earlier.
I really, okay, this is seriously why I asked what was going through Nolan's head during the time of this film. Like, was he emotional about Heath Ledger dying or something, and that's why there's all these mistakes? I'm just asking because legit, a lot of this movie's problems stem with just them making boneheaded decisions all around, concept-wise and execution-wise. Like, okay, for comparison's sake, when Chester A. Bum did his bum review of Dark Knight, he played it dead serious for once, which anyone who's seen Chester A. Bum knows that that's way out of the character's norm. What did he do for Dark Knight Rises? First thing he does is go back to his normal persona because Dark Knight Rises is kind of easy to make fun of.
Okay.
Oh, he gets to keep the house. That's nice.
Yeah. Wayne Manor.
So, does she actually buy this, or does she know that he's really Batman?
No idea.
Again,
I
a few
mean-
of these characters are like read the script so they know it. Also.
He's literally playing it as if he and Batman are great friends.
Sure.
Why would Batman
Wait, this line.
associated-
Yeah, you're not really sorry. That's Selena Kyle's character in a nutshell. Acts sorry, she ain't really.
Also, Gordon is still stuck in that hospital bed.
Oh, this... Dwebs, how about you tackle this one?
Okay. Basically, they've gotten wind of what Bane and his cronies are doing underground.
Took them long enough
So
to
what they're
find
going-
out it's in the sewers.
Yeah. So what they're going to do is that a sick Gordon is going to have every single cop in the entire city of Gotham go underground.
This is probably a good time to mention that a site, How It Should Have Ended, that's literally what they're called, How It Should Have Ended. Basically, they do stuff that showed how a movie's plot could have been solved better. They had a field day with Dark Knight Rises, and one of the key crowning scenes is basically Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character questioning, Sir, do you really want us to send all our forces in? And then Gordon says, oh god, you're right. I think the mass scare they're sending me here is a bit too tight here. Just send in a small team and smoke them out. But-
Or just send a few small teams, but at least have some of the cops above ground so that
From billionaire to burn, class act, Gotham newspaper.
bomb.
Oh, that's right. It's time for our 12 o'clock love scene between Bruce and love interest. Hey, Nolan, you know what other Batman movie kind of tacked on the love and romance between Bruce and his love interest? Batman and Robin.
Oops.
Yeah.
Again, we're not saying it's as bad as that movie. It's just
It
well,
replicates a lot of problems from that movie. I mean, yeah, it handles them better, but there's still problems. Wow.
we're gonna
Oh my
we're
god.
gonna bang by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Bruce's face there, it doesn't even change. It's like, okay.
And the power's out.
That turns me on somehow.
Apparently.
And they apparently did it.
Yay.
Off screen. Well, again, it's a 12A movie. And why?
Oh well, time for backstory.
Of course.
A scar?
I wonder.
Just remember, Bruce, have protection. 1 minute you're shagging up with a woman, next you have a lethal son.
Yeah.
That
poor
actually
Damien.
has happened.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Damien got better with DC Rebirth.
Yeah.
Oh, unless
Too
he
bad.
unless he turns out to be Deathstroke's son.
Too bad that Injustice didn't want to agree on that. Seriously,
Well-
Injustice treats a lot of characters so badly.
Admittedly, aren't those like their
Why
evil
did he
ultimate?
climb? Why did he climb the bridge?
It's a cool shot, Dweeb. Shut up.
To be
But
fair,
why?
to be fair to you, at least with Injustice, there's the excuse that most of them, when their dicks are kind of their evil counterparts.
Sorta, but it's not clear as similar to like Earth 3. For example, Wonder Woman is treated so horribly and she has no reason for being a dick.
You talk about the evil Wonder Woman or the original Wonder Woman in Injustice?
Regime.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just focus on this.
So
for now,
Batman
because,
is completely
yeah,
trusting.
Catwoman as a lead, then Batman can follow her.
Batman trusts her down a dark alley, which is, is up his alley.
Why do you trust someone who
Hans,
steals everything?
Hans, maybe we should save this more exhilarating music for... Oh, cute. They replicated that scene from Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Where are you? Here.
Ah, the lights.
It's a bad shot, though. Here we go.
And surprise, it was a trap.
So
That's a trap.
I guess it was all part of the plan that Catwoman would just stage beating those guys up.
And here's the funny
She
bit.
ain't the one standing behind the cage, boy.
On YouTube, you can find a version of this scene with, in the background, Gru's theme from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Trust me, it makes the scene 200% more hilarious.
So, of course, how it should have ended also covered this scene. What does Batman do? Use bat darts to knock Beta out.
Yeah, here's the problem. For all the practical stuff and how the fights went in the previous movie, this fight choreography is horrible.
The weird thing is, like, Bane fights perfectly fine when it's against someone who's not Batman, yet whenever it's Batman, we have grab arm, walk
and
up.
weak punches on both parts.
Yeah, this is meant to be the big climactic, one of the big climactic villains of the series, and it's reduced to rock'em sock'em robots.
I mean, these two guys were apparently both trained by Ra's al Ghul. So you'd think we'd see some awesome kung fu action, but no.
No, it's something you'd see in a generic wrestling match.
And you know what? Okay, maybe if they were going with, the usual Bane, that would make more sense because, the usual Bane is more of a luchador wrestler fighting style.
Yeah.
But this guy's supposed to be a kung fu master. Huh.
Just doesn't fit.
And he's somehow getting beat up. Why?
Yeah, Batman.
I mean, Batman has, like, a suit on. Like, a freaking suit that can stand with hard Kevlar. It can take bullets and dog bites. And somehow...
Oh my god, No.
Why would you use a smoke pellet down in a place that's full of water? It's just gonna dissolve it, you idiot. And now, folks, I give you Christian Bale's Batman voice versus Tom Hardy's Bane voice. Try and take this seriously.
You can't.
Hell,
Probably.
I can take Tom Hardy more seriously with that weird Australian accent he has in Fury Road.
Poor Tom Hardy with superhero films. Have you guys seen the Venom trailer?
Yeah.
I still haven't. Again, like I said, I'm waiting until I see a cinema, the trailer. I mean, but so far I haven't. Ow.
Yeah.
No music even?
Yeah, that's probably also the reason why the Gru's theme version fits better.
Yeah, why did Hans ever have a day off?
Hmm.
Well, it kind of is.
Of course.
Oh yeah, this speech.
Well, that's kind of what the charm of a character is on an ironically way, Dweebs. The fact that he's doing all this philosophical speech in this jolly tone while being a massive murderer and terrorist.
Which was kinda Bane's thing, kinda. But this one just makes him like the James
there
Bond
were also
version
some
of
gratuitous
Bane.
Mexican add to the mix as well in the original. And like a complete idiot, Bruce didn't notice that Bane managed to set this trap right under Wayne Tech's, warehouse.
Oops. And you're telling me that Wayne Tech didn't have reinforcements or something like that?
Yeah. And so yeah, congratulations, Bruce. You just armed an entire platoon of terrorists with your
Well
Wayne.
done.
Oh, and now get ready because you'll get probably one of the few actual fan service shots in the movie. And of course, it has to be underwhelming.
Yes, this is based off of Nightfall. Basically, Batman's equivalent to Death of Superman, where Batman was out of commission, so a new guy had to take his place.
Essentially, Dweebs, that kick that Bane just did, in the comics it was more emphasized and it was powerful enough to break Bruce's back for like months.
I'm sorry, didn't Batman Begins establish that they made sure to get a mask that wasn't so fragile?
Yeah.
And yet now it's back to
look at the pretty
cracking.
money.
Also, Catwoman just realized that she done goofed. Congratulations.
And we cut away to the manor.
Yeah, which now has no one inside.
Well, dang on, didn't it have Marion Culture? Oh, never mind.
You wanna try get out of the way, Miss
And
Kyle?
now she's gonna try and escape.
Yeah.
You know, get a whole new fresh start, I guess.
Nope.
Surely she has some sort of
sure,
gadget or
it's,
something to.
it's right over there.
You're
Whatever.
beating up.
When the hat cushioned the impact.
You're beating up someone in airport security. Post 9/11
Nope.
airport security. Yeah, what did you
Yeah.
think was gonna happen?
Nice try.
Like heck, if anything, you want to make a clean getaway? Airport security is tight.
Yeah. Hmm.
Oh, apparently
Sorry, Miss
she.
Kyle, can you speak up a bit?
Why would you even be running from Bane? You apparently fulfilled your end of the bargain. What more would Bane have to come after you for?
Not just that, of all places, honestly, of all places, you think running away from plane is the safest option?
Okay, yeah, I know the saying planes are the safest means of travel, but even still, you want to make a clean getaway without getting noticed? Airport security is locked out tight.
You couldn't take the first boss literally out of Gotham.
Yeah, that too. I mean,
Meanwhile, Bruce is getting dragged somewhere. I don't even know where we are, like South America.
oh,
Oh, and
there.
here's the chanting. Oh, hello.
Hi, Bane.
Can you stop being beast closer?
How's your back?
A little broken. Do you fear death?
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure his body is also pretty tortured too.
Yeah.
Yeah. His back is shattered.
Is it now?
It's got
Yeah.
just one TV channel on it.
Which makes me wonder
Oh,
a
wait, let's
question.
listen.
I'll ask you later on.
This isn't Game of Thrones movie. Just get to the point.
Yeah, that's the thing. The dialogues that take were too many pauses.
See, look, whenever someone spoke long, it was either Lucius Fox because Morgan Freeman or Alfred because Alfred gotta have them speeches. And it was fine there. Here, though, they're trying to make Bane of all people philosophical. Like, look, even the canon Bane, who is, smart and stuff, he doesn't go on tirades this long. Unless it's during fights.
And even then, the reason why he was technically a bit more intelligent and everything was because he had a personal grudge against Batman from supposedly what happens to his father. But that's a long story.
Also because as a kid he had a fear of bats.
Yeah. No, it was also, I think in some story it was because he thought that Batman was the strongest adversary he could measure with.
That
or something.
too. Ah, yes, the iconic line. Basically, he's gonna have Bruce be kept alive to watch his city fall.
Supposedly.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, but now off she goes to be taken to
correction.
Blackgate Penitentiary, I guess.
As part of the Harvey Dent Act, prisons are no longer gender exclusive.
I'm sure this will in no way cause any rape attempts.
No, she'll be fine. She just broke a guy's hands for trying it.
Oh boy.
Boy, is this the pre-meeting for the new EA E3 conference where they gas the people?
Probably.
Well, at least someone volunteered.
Well, yeah, what are the other options?
Kill all the board members.
Yeah, exactly. So, what now, Jim?
Why every single cop?
Why everyone? Just send like half of them down.
Also, the irony: Gary Oldman just told to send in everyone.
Who?
I just realized that.
Who, sir?
Gary Oldman. It's a reference to
everyone.
Leon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another good point. How do you get water and supplies in this prison?
It's a super...
I understand water may be scarce and everything, but how do people don't starve to death here?
I'm guessing they lower supplies and every now and then. I mean, they must have some way since Bane was down there too.
Alright, the chanting.
Yeah, someone's gonna try and...
trying to climb up, and in order to, pump his motivation, the other prisoners will do this war chant thing.
I wonder why some of these people are down here.
War criminals, I think, if I recall correctly, is the usual motivation. And dead.
Or he's alive! Film, that kind of thing killed Gwen Stacy in Amazing Spider-Man 2, just saying.
Jova, we don't want to talk about that.
Oh, wait,
remember Sony.
Hold
on. Here's the thing. Apparently only one person manages to get out that way, and it was a child.
That's right! This super-duper hell-on-earth prison was escaped by a child.
Honestly, Tio, I mean, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is technically a worse film, but I'd much rather watch that than this, because at least there, it was so goofy and over the top, I can at least be entertained.
This movie takes itself a bit too seriously. Like, I get that that's the point of this trilogy, but they joke way too much. It's weird how something can joke more, yet somehow take itself seriously way too much.
Boop.
Gee.
Yeah, apparently it was a trap.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe sending like every single cop down there was a bad idea. They haven't even done it yet.
Yeah.
You just heard explosives. Maybe you should.
And your boss is a bit compromised at the moment, being ill.
And
But
look
you
at
can-
that. We
you
just
can-
found the generator thing.
He can overrule his orders in terms of ill health.
Hmm. You're a bitch.
Bruce Wayne truly made the right choice.
You get to live.
Yeah, for now. Oh, there you go. Here's Dr. Pavel.
So what's he here to do? You'd think... And you know what, never mind. You think Lucius Fox
Apparently,
would
you
be
need
able
to
do
get
that?
the reactors from the ball thing,
So
to
they-
convert them into bombs. I think.
For something that's supposed to be realistic, this is just cartoony, sending every cop in.
Yeah.
And
Again,
he's-
I know Gordon's their well-respected leader, but why are they listening to him at this point? He's ill and clearly not all in the head.
Yeah, even Howard should have addressed that.
So essentially, since the other cores are too high, we're just gonna take the entire thing down.
Five months. Yeah, it's so obvious his lines have been dubbed over.
Well, to be fair, I don't really mind.
I don't
in
mind the
this case.
dubbing. I just wish that they could have maybe edited them to sound more better and clear.
Yeah, it clearly sounds like Tom Hardy in an ADR booth.
Also, this makes you wonder. I can understand Bane's motivation and everything, but how did the people that got hired under him actually what motivation they had to go along with like these guys?
He's kind of dead,
He's an ex-person, Jova.
It's like, yeah, it'd be like in LA Noir if you had to interrogate a dead person.
Press
Who are
X
you
to
working
dump
for?
out.
You're lying, madam. You're not dead. I can
Well-
see you right now.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Okay. You may remember this from Batman Begins. Yep.
Yeah,
Not only did
we're
they
doing the
mention
exact
League
same
of...
plan that Rajal Ghul wanted to do.
So, yeah. In a point, I guess, for audience for loop, we're bringing back the League of Shadows even though they were pretty much done in Batman Begins. Now, okay, yes, I know, the League of Shadows were mentioned earlier, but even still, okay, we assumed Bane was no longer a part of them, but nope, it turns out Bane's been a part of them all along, and this is part of his master plan to,
Do something.
why, what did
Oh, and here we go. We cut to
Not
baseball, football.
football. Fun
Um,
fact, and how it should have ended, Bane's gonna compliment this kid singing, I honestly disagree. And how it should have ended, Bane goes, maybe I shouldn't blow things up. Oh god, that singing is terrible. Blow it up immediately.
yeah, nothing against.
Yeah, there's
I'm-
another thing, Joe.
Again, I'm sure he's a nice.
I got these.
I'm sure he's a nice kid, but yeah, he's probably gotten older now. But
Usually we
he is
have
not-
older
his singing
people
is
sing this anyway.
Also, Jova, it's another thing. I know patriotism and everything, but singing the state hymn before matches seems a bit
No, it's not,
stupid.
Bane.
Although it's an awesome song.
Well, it's an Ant-Man, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's a national anthem.
Gotham. The Gotham. I sort of got
It's like Bane saying, and for a second I thought it was like, hurry up.
Yeah, hurry the fuck up, I want this to end.
And now we're about to get an homage to 9/11.
Oh, because of course we need to.
Yeah. Woo!
Rogue. Oh, they're Gotham's rogues, okay.
Gotham. Ha! Gotham's Rogues. They literally named their team the Gotham Rogues.
I wonder if the opposing team is a reference to Star City or something.
Yep.
The opposing team is
Or
apparently
Keystone.
apparently the opposing team is from Ravensville.
It's a shame. We could have used that to sneak in continuity with other cities of the DC universe.
And now apparently Bane had bombs planted all over the town.
How did he do that without
Strategically.
being detected?
Which causes essentially the underground to become a maze. And the stadium to collapse like that.
Just like in 9/11, everything just goes down.
And yeah, the
The mayor's
mayor,
dead.
I guess.
Oh no, the mayor! He
no.
was a character. It's not like the movie really cares.
Yeah, it's ironic. If there's a thing that's constant with almost all DC universe stories, that politics don't really matter in the long scheme of things, unless it involves characters like Lex Luthor.
Or in Amazon's Attack.
So yeah, all
Hey,
the
New
bridges
York,
except one have been wrecked.
Eat your heart out, Magneto.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magneto doesn't want to blow them up. He just want to
Toss them around.
pull them out and toss them everywhere.
Gee, it's almost as if going through every cop underground was a bad idea. Oh boy, now it's time for the speech.
I always do love a captive audience.
Especially when they are captive.
Oh.
What?
What the fuck is he wearing?
What the hell is he saying?
He wants us to take control even though it looks like he's taking over our city. You know, it sounds real stupid when we actually
Oh,
say
right,
that
the
out
Jimmy's
loud.
also in danger.
He's like, oh crap, maybe that was a bad idea.
But now Tim's actually going to start acting more sensibly.
Finally.
And now it's time to go LA Noir on this.
Nope. You want to hide under the bed, Jim?
That's not the Jim Gordon way.
Of course.
Hang on, wasn't the hospital blown up?
It's another one, because usually towns have more than one.
So,
Like big cities like Gotham, they do.
With the place being a massive shithole, I'm surprised they have more than one.
Well, they kind of need it, considering all the injuries and deaths. Nope.
Nope.
Alright then. Thank you.
The instrument of what?
our liberation maiden, I think he said.
Well, golly gee, this peach is great, but it just needs something to quench my, my appetite for my gamer fuel.
Doritos.
Doritos. Sorry. If only there was also a Mountain Dew ad. Alright, Dr. Pavel's speech.
Wow, an energy source can be turned into a neutron bomb. Why am I not surprised?
Only you.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's no genius
Okay,
whatsoever
thanks.
in this universe who can solve it.
Well, there you go.
You know, this is the DC universe, and I know we're supposed to be focusing only on Batman, but gosh dang, moments like this are kind of also frustrating when you've not. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of other geniuses who could undo it.
Yeah.
Really?
Somewhere a rich Democrat is thinking, you know, I'm going to become a Republican and use this for my presidential campaign in 2016.
The
Yeah,
Let's
he.
not bring.
yeah.
Like you said, Joe, we're not going to bring politics into this.
But what you said before raises also a good question, a good point of observation. One of the advantages that this trilogy had was that being self-contained and trying to be more realistic meant that it was just focusing on Batman, just that. By its own admission, it would be a story set in a world where essentially only Batman was essentially the only major superhero in the world. People like Superman, Green Arrow, The Flash were not present here. Nothing would have been in continuity with this thing. So one of the problems that usually happen in Batman stories, aka why doesn't character like Superman intervene? Actually, in this one was more justified, and it makes sense. It makes sense for a situation like this to actually happen without other superheroes to intervene. But I still think they managed to screw up it somehow, which again, compared to other stuff like Arkham Knight, which by the way is in a universe that establishes pretty clearly the presence of other superheroes like Superman,
And the Flash.
commits the fatal flaw of falling into that trap.
Not only that, but there are good reasons you can think up of as to why heroes don't, like, I kid you not, the reason in comics is that Gotham is apparently cursed or something.
That's also one of the problems, Joe. The writers don't seem to find a consistent origin story for Gotham itself. Like sometimes it's just built up Wonder City. Sometimes it's just built on a magical pentagram that aligns magical energies. It just varies.
Don't even get me
Hey,
started
look,
on.
it's that guy who's in a lot of these kind of films.
Don't even get me started on how Martha Wayne's ancestry apparently has to do with a curse that caused Arkham Asylum to be a mystical mojo place.
Sure.
The actor playing the president is William Devane, who would go on to play the president in 24 Live Another Day.
How interesting. So
the one set in London.
So essentially, Bane has a giant neutron bomb, and he threatens that, you know, if anyone tries to go over the one bridge out of the town, he'll detonate that neutron bomb. Although he's... Oh, wait, no, I forget. No, although he's kind of bluffing, because he can pretty much flip the switch anytime he wants to, but for some reason, he's gonna wait 5 months for it to decay naturally. Why? Well, here we go.
Yeah.
The Harvey Dent Act. Okay,
Yeah.
someone on YouTube did a pretty good Mark Hamill impression having the Joker read this speech, and trust me, this is like something the Joker would have had planned. Like, you know, waiting years for the city to supposedly get under control, but then coming back only to ruin it all. This was like a Joker thing. Oops.
Oops. Yes, we get it, Tom. You don't need to yell too much in the mic.
Yeah, this was their way of addressing people's complaints with the end of Dark Knight. Bit clumsy. I mean, it's good intentions, don't get me wrong, but... Again... Nah, I've already said it enough. I just feel like this is something that a different villain would be doing.
Oh...
Like,
yeah, accept his resignation.
seriously, the League of Shadows is all about apparently purging the world of imperfect
Yeah, and by
beings.
purging, they mean killing in terrible ways.
Like, again, this feels like something Joker would be doing, causing chaos. Heck, I can maybe even see Penguin doing this as some weird scheme to gain control over Gotham, because there are some plots where he tries to be mayor or get control over the city.
Yeah.
Or, again, they could have done an Arkham Knight and had Scarecrow leading a rogues gallery of villains trying to do this. It's just, again, why... Oh, guess this is a good time for me to actually read that article about why they chose Bane.
Go ahead.
According to Nolan, I didn't know him very well, Nolan said. David Goyer got me a bunch of stuff on him and we looked into him. I only knew him by name. I wasn't familiar with his backstory. And there's the first problem out the gate. Bane is one of the villains Nolan was not that familiar with. And I hate to say it, it kinda shows. So essentially Bane's speech here is that he's giving the town back to Gotham by letting the non-rich folk rule it.
How nice of him.
I guess.
This is like the equivalent of Mad Max. Yeah, everyone's on equal ground, but they're gonna be all savage about it.
Not that it really matters, considering he still wants to detonate the bomb anyway.
Yeah. It's like they had two different plots
It's
and merged
literally
them into
trolling
one.
for the lulz.
Again, this is like something Joker would do. And
How do we change
apparently,
classes quickly?
most of Gotham is in on this.
Yay.
Wow, I guess this goes to show that the peace they got from Dark Knight ending wasn't really truly peaceful. And before anyone says that was the point, I'm sorry, no. Dark Knight made it a big deal that it was the morally right thing for Batman to do at the end of that film. So saying that it's all
This
fake
is all
here...
taking place over a few months.
I mean, this kind of... Oh, God. That scene. Remember that court scene from earlier.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's the problem, though. Essentially, this film is saying that Dark Knight as a whole was pointless, since, yeah, Batman did everything he could to win Gotham's spirit over the Joker. Yet now here they admit, oh, that may have been the wrong thing to do. This great city that I have caused great harm to.
Yeah, sure it will.
Liar.
Meanwhile, back at
So, again, how does this make... Okay, I get it, you know, Bruce is gonna be all tortured and stuff, but, I mean, he can't see everything that's going on in Gotham, so... It's
Also, that bald guy, I recognize him. He was the hunter in Jurassic Park 2.
Pete Pufflefoot?
Yeah, that looks like him.
Wow. He kinda let himself go.
I think he actually died recently or something. Let me check, just to be sure.
Okay. So, apparently, these two now decided that they're... Oh, wait, backstory. Basically, Bane had an accident which causes him to be in eternal pain.
Actually, no, my mistake.
So
Especially considering the actor died in 2011.
So apparently, Bane was a mercenary who fell in love with a warlord's daughter, but because the warlord didn't like that, he was sentenced to prison, but Bane was apparently the one who escaped.
To be fair, it's a better backstory than the one in the comic where he was just sent in as a child in order to, you know, having to deal his father's war crimes.
But what? Uh-oh, it turns out Bane was actually that child born in prison. Had you going there for a few seconds. Apparently.
Oh, what a cute child.
Yes, how adorable, ain't he, Dwibs?
Nah. I won't get into that whole, this kid grew up to be Hitler and all that.
Of course he wouldn't want the story told because that would give away stuff. So apparently he's gonna fix Bruce's back using a
Of
rope.
course,
Using rope and what little doctors they have in this place.
And what else is he going to do? Watch.
Ow.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should have said it's going to hurt.
Chris, bless you, but no.
Oh, no. I know I say that a lot, but this...
Oh god, this bit. Yes, apparently now...
Wait, just let them see.
Hi, Liam. No.
That's right, turns out Ra's al Ghul was the mercenary, and Bane is his son.
You are the father.
Now here's my question. How is a hallucination telling Bruce stuff that he doesn't know?
Yeah, how could hallucinations give you important plot stuff? That's
the thing.
Steven Universe, which
In
is a
the
show about
comics,
magical
hold on.
alien rocks established...
In the comics, it usually implies that Ra's al Ghul has found some sort of way to achieve true immortality, and that's why he keeps popping back up here and there, despite clearly dying.
What about Steven Universe, Jova?
But the problem is that it just doesn't work for the what this movie actually establishes.
Again, they're trying to be ultra-realistic. Steven Universe, which is a show about magical alien space rock lesbians, even that show recognizes that hallucinations can't tell you stuff that you know. Because Steven tries actually imagining one person...
That you don't know, you mean?
Yeah, that you don't know. Basically, Steven actually tries imagining a certain character who was about to tell him something before getting poofed, but, of course, she can't say it all because he didn't hear the end thing. Yet here, Bruce learns from a hallucination.
What's funny is that they both come from a group that's under the same conglomerate.
True. Also...
Time Warner.
Wow, I feel so bad about that guy who I sold out.
Please leave.
Yeah, it's what I wanted. What did I want again?
Also, why can't some of the officers just climb over the...
Because they can't fit through those.
But look at that gap, though.
So essentially it's a Last of Us-esque apocalypse where everyone is on equal ground.
Of course.
But they got a place
Kind
for
of.
refugees.
Yeah, it's implied some time has passed. I forgot how much.
Maybe a time...
Yeah, a few months.
But not too much
a
because the
timestamp
bomb
would help. Also, if you really want Gotham to suffer before blowing it up, wouldn't it make sense to have it be at least a year?
Well, if I recall correctly, he didn't plan on knowing how
Plus that
much
bomb,
of the bomb
plus that bomb would
was around.
decay in the bomb's apparently going to decay in about 5 months.
Yeah, and Bane could not predict the exact duration of it.
Fair point. Although, doesn't that mean that technically it could go off at any point while he's right next to it?
Well, that's convenient, Jova, because it's still part of his plan, technically.
I'm pretty sure his plan doesn't involve him dying.
Actually, yeah, since it's part of the League of Shadows, it can involve also self-sacrifice.
Yeah, but then that would mean the League of Shadows would be without a leader. And that would kind of suck now, wouldn't it?
Unless we're forgetting something, but we'll see.
The Lazarus Pit is not in this continuity from what I have
Thankfully.
seen.
Alright, Bruce, can you manage to make it?
Can you manage to do what a little kid somehow managed to do?
Nope.
And that should have killed him. Especially considering his back.
Not
Couldn't
just
you have
that,
got a
I'm
running start?
cue your reference to any of the bad old school Batman games for the Super Nintendo or the Genesis.
It cannot be done, even though we just got finished telling you a story about a child who did it.
That's kind of the clue. But yeah, apparently the child manages to sneak away.
While Raish apparently helped his son escape. Boy, Raish sure looks pretty good for a guy who got a beat down like that.
Yeah.
Okay, back in Philadelphia, Gotham.
God dang it.
Disaster force.
Boy,
National Emergency Relief.
Oh,
Boy.
they're getting supplies, I guess.
Boy, I gotta say, the next DLC installment for The Division is looking pretty weird.
Ugh. Hi, Jim.
It's a special task force.
So during this time, the main forces of the police actually are reorganizing and deciding what to do. Also, how did the police trapped in the sewer manage to survive? Oh, there you go. They're passing supplies back there. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sorry.
Why not
just,
get a
you know,
radiation scanner then?
for just for food for thoughts anyway. Like almost 2 hours in, how much screen time actually Batman had?
Oh
He
god.
was in like 2 action scenes.
I think he's had less
Well,
screen time in here than he did in Batman Begins.
let's be generous here. 15 minutes, 20,
Not even 50. Like,
no, 15.
oh. I'd say 30 at most so far.
Like,
I'd say 25.
You know,
I
this is kind of
understand
an
that you
issue
have
with...
a lot of characters and you need to build the stuff around, but this movie is clearly not about Batman anymore.
And this is another reason why I say...
Even though one of his nicknames is in the title.
You know, look, I'll give Tim Burton credit. Yes, we didn't get as much of Batman as we did as the villains in his movies, but here's the thing. The villains were half the film, and they were pretty entertaining. Here, we're not even focusing on Bane that much either. It's just these random yahoos. Like, seriously, this is why I say, if you wanted to do something like this, have it be about a rogues gallery for a finale or something, you know? Then we could have some of the film focus on, oh, hi, Lucius and Miranda, where have you two been?
Yeah, all this time, by the way.
Yeah, like, why can't we focus on some of these characters? Like, Miranda's supposed to be Bruce's freaking love interest.
Oops.
And Alfred, well, Alfred just left Bruce. Like, wouldn't it have been a nice point for Alfred to come back and try and redeem himself? Nope.
Now you got me imagining Alfred coming in dressed as Batman.
Yeah, we
It
don't
wouldn't be
even
the
know where
first time.
we didn't even know where Alfred went.
So, Lucius
True.
just... So, as Lucius just stated, yeah, that bomb's gonna go off anyway.
So what to do then?
Which makes you kind of think about it. Bane's kind of an idiot. Why not have had the doctor maybe try and analyze a way to control it before killing him?
Oh.
Well cried.
Shoot out.
Someone sold them out, apparently.
Yep.
How'd you figure that out that quickly?
Pew, pew. Dead. Oh
Or
no,
maybe not.
character who was just established a minute or so ago.
But it's important, Jova, don't you know? Yeah. Teabagged by Bane.
Wow.
That's a terrible death. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, this music.
Yeah, how convenient. Bruce, come on. true.
Oh, now he speaks English.
How convenient. I'm angry about elves.
Yeah, I'm angry that after this, my career would go really up and down.
Oh yeah, what did
Yeah.
Bale really do after the Batman trilogy?
I'll check. I'm checking, don't worry. There we go again. Nope.
Oh, he didn't even get to the cliff.
Ow.
What a dick. Let me see.
I love how the music's just winding down like. Wah, wah.
After Dark Knight Rises, he did Out of the Furnace, American Hustle, Exodus Gods and Kings, Knight of Cups, The Big Short, The Promise, and in 2017, Hostiles.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Big Short was good.
Okay, Dark Knight Rises, that was just cheating using that footage from Batman Begins. Like, okay, we get it. He fell down a hole, but here's the thing. The reason that you flash back to that is because that was about him remembering his father and, realizing that he was getting out of his fears and whatnot. The hole was literally his fear. Here, he just fell down a hole, and that's your reason for showing a flashback of his father from Batman Begins. What's even the point?
No idea at all.
Oh, backstory time. Yeah, okay, I think I've noticed, is it just me, or does this movie have a hard-on for exposition?
Gushing out ASAP?
The Dark Knight Exposits coming 2012.
Let me guess. He lost his wife and child. That seems to be a thing with a lot of the characters in this movie. He's totally not gonna make it. It's only the third time in the film, and there's no such thing as the power of three. So, after hearing the story from that guy, Bruce realizes, maybe I should jump without the rope.
Just maybe. You should try without it, yeah.
Because, oh hi, there's a... never mind. Thought I recognized an actor down there.
So now he's going to do it without the rope.
Yeah. Cue the Super Mario jump.
Wasn't the League of Shadows all about killing people?
What?
Oh, hi, bats.
Ha 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 ha. Batman.
Here we go. the chanting is not even in tune with the music.
Yeah, like, why not use that chord that actually goes in rhythm with this? Whatever.
Because it's
There we go.
Batman's quote-unquote theme.
Yeah, he made it. So why can't anyone else made it just by not using the rope?
Because they didn't get the pep talk.
Of course.
Also, what are these guys even in here for?
Again, probably war crime.
I asked that earlier.
I asked because Bruce is about to do something interesting.
He freed
Rhoda.
all of them.
So, I guess we should hope those were all good guys and not mass-murdering psychopaths or something.
Yeah.
Where is this place even, anyway?
Probably
hey.
was like Jerusalem.
Oh, hey, look, it's this guy who was on Bane's side, but for some reason is being arrested.
Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Why is he being arrested?
No idea. Hi, Dr. Crane.
Maybe
It's good to see that you're still pointless in these movies.
it says something that Cillian McMurphy was a more credible threat when he actually portrayed a woman. And I'm not kidding, there's a movie where he actually makes a pretty cute
Is
looking...
that the Danish girl?
Yeah, I think so. Is that the one? And look at this scene! They used the scene from earlier. Like,
Yeah.
with Bane in the background and everything.
Even we seriously thought we couldn't notice.
By the way, Jove, I'm not sure I asked you in the other films. What do you think of Cillian Murphy's American accent?
It's fine enough.
Well, considering
So
he's
yeah,
Irish.
the sentence is exile. because it's winter, the river near Gotham has frozen, so people technically should be able to just walk off.
Why is Bane letting this guy be killed? I mean, this guy helped him.
Not just that. There are so many ways you can just go on the ice without actually breaking like details like that.
Yeah, just slide across on your arse or something.
Yeah.
And even if you plunge in, I'm pretty sure it's possible to survive.
Yeah, you just go back up. Again, it's weird that talented people at the screenwriting didn't know about simple actions
Again,
like this.
for the most part, the trilogy was holding up the realistic thing well enough while taking some liberties. It's like this film, though, was governed on the idea of being realistic, and yet it feels like the least realistic of them.
Yeah, what a surprise! The guy who tried to arrest Batman is a coward. Yep. Sure. Bless you, Gary Oldman.
Because it's Gotham City, we kind of have to do things that way.
You should watch
Yeah.
Darkest Hour if you can.
Let me check what it is.
It's Gary
It's
Oldman
that
playing
film
Winston
about Winston
Churchill
Churchill.
All right.
during
Yeah, I
World
probably
War
should.
II, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
during the beginning of World War II, from Joe Wright of all people.
Essentially, it's a recollection of what happened, supposedly what happened that inspired the UK to actually respond to the bombings.
Yeah, basically it's Joe Wright rebounding after Pam.
The director said, "Stole an apple from this kid. It'll make you
these-
look more like an asshole."
These guys, seriously, what is it with...
Selena, what have you been doing all these months?
I've been pondering why the hell I was in Princess Diaries 2. Hey, I need some motivation, and the writers sure aren't giving
What
me
an
one, so I'm gonna go
asshole.
Maverick with this. Oh, so there you go, an apple I took a bite out of. Why is it always apples, anyway, with the things getting...
Reference to the original scene.
Oh god. So he managed to get back to Gotham off
How?
screen.
Hey, maybe if Alfred decided to try and find him, that might explain how he got here.
Yeah,
like
why
in
not just have like that? You're borrowing so much from Batman Begins. Why not the scene where he goes to Alfred in his plane ready to take him back to Gotham?
And you're telling me that he somehow got into Gotham? That means that there's a way for people to sneak out of Gotham.
What did he
or
do?
Maybe
Take the...
or maybe he actually had the common sense to slide on the ice.
Hey Joe, this is like... Hey Joe, this feels like a series of unfortunate events where you can go to Peru just going in an underground passageway.
The difference is that series of unfortunate events is tongue-in-cheek with how most people are idiots in that universe.
Yeah.
This is not. Yes, maybe I like it this way. That's why I tried to run off.
I got used to it though, so that makes it better.
No, it doesn't.
Fox. No, but I can get you Stan Lee.
Wrong universe.
I still just want to know, why was he in that movie? Was it because that Steve Trevor was in it too?
He was predicting. He's predicting the Disney buyout of Marvel.
Yes.
I can just imagine how Anna must have been to Chris Pine. Well, I'm gonna be in a DC movie. I don't know where you're going. Maybe you're going somewhere with that Star Trek thing, but I'm pretty sure I'll be the one who's around. And then years later, wonder.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in a better DC movie than you are.
Ha! We'll see. And then years later, God darn it!
Let's see.
We want to go for a realistic villain, so instead of using a villain that we've already established in 2 villains ago, let's just have him play Second Bananas. preferred cameo villain.
Of course.
So, of course, death by exile. So, yeah, exile is pretty much death. And that scene again! Whatever.
Hans Zimmer on his synthesizer again.
And the music's one of the better things of the film, I'll admit.
Not really. It's generic Hans Zimmer score.
The main theme's good.
What main theme? It's just 2 notes.
No, the main theme of this movie. Wow, it's incredibly easy for the most recognizable citizen of Gotham to get in unnoticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I can't get you out of here.
Hey, Selena, how did you manage to get back your stuff?
I guess because she's technically part of Bane's team as far as they know, so she's clear.
Oh.
Ow.
Oh, she's totally not going to be his girlfriend. Remember,
No.
Miranda was established as Bruce's love interest.
Yes.
How did Bane's troops not find this? Didn't they already go to this place?
No,
Yeah,
no. Not that.
Didn't we went there to get the reactor?
I don't.
Or is this a different place?
I'm pretty sure that this is a different area. Basically, the place where Bruce kept his tech was in Wayne Enterprises.
But it looks exactly the same.
All right. Can we finally get to that one again?
So let me get this straight. Wayne Tech Enterprises, Bane manages to find and break into tiny office. Bane couldn't find that. You know, for a supposed evil genius, Bane's kind of dumb in this movie.
Yeah.
It's not a nitpick. He's really just dumb for someone they're trying to pass off as super smart. Of course, Batman has to wait till night, and these guys waited till night. Okay.
Yeah. Go on, move. If you're gonna leave, just get on your bomb and slide across.
Yeah, go like the penguins in Super Mario 64. Okay. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oops.
Wow, crud.
So how will you get out of this one?
Well, they're dead. Oh, let me guess. That guy's supposed to be Uri.
I don't know.
Ow,
You know,
ow,
Ra's al Ghul's right-hand
Yeah.
man, bald guy.
I don't know, Joe.
If
At this
that-
point, I don't think so.
If that bit was smaller, they could have thrown him in there and then filled the place up with concrete. Ow.
Oh, look at that! A bat dart!
Yeah.
Maybe you could have used that earlier on Bane, Brucey.
I was too close. He's fast. He's fast.
He's bulky as all heck.
Yeah, Batman
he's-
also. With that suit, you shouldn't be able to,
Oh, so this supposedly thin ice can actually stand having fire
Yeah.
on it and somehow not break.
And how did he have the time to do this?
And there you go.
Look at
the
that!
sign.
It's the logo from Dark Knight's
Yeah.
cover.
Fire combustion doesn't work this way on that kind of surface.
Here's just hoping nobody's in that building, Bruce.
Oh. Can we have this conversation not on the ice, please?
And then the ice cracks and he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Batman, I got to do something right to take. Ah!
I mean, that armor's gotta be pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's
we're
what it's supposed
talking,
to be.
We gotta save the day, Gordon. But
Oh
together,
no,
I'm sure we
guys.
can.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character is totally about to die.
Yeah, sure. Here we go again with the theme.
Bam!
Blam.
Biff! Ouch! Thwack! Pow!
Yeah, pretty much. That's
You
what
want to
it
help
is.
him?
There's a massive a college humor video I saw where
You
someone
wanna?
took a few scenes from The Dark Knight and recreated them as if they were made in the 60s.
Yeah.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Now that counts for later.
I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Why are we giving him one? Oh wait, never mind. I guess that's all he needed.
That didn't do much. Yeah, about this one. Oh, finally. Sorry, that voice is still...
Wow.
Like, you don't need to use this voice anymore, Batman. Come on.
I guess because he still wants to keep his secret identity for some reason.
Like, everyone knows your identity at this point.
Except Jim Gordon.
Poor bastard.
Yeah. He had
Batman,
the motorcycle just stored in that. Oh, so that explains where he hid it
container.
when he went down the.
Yeah, and Batman, his generosity will let Selina use it. Oh. Sure, she's totally gonna run away. Totally, we swear.
Totally won't come back. She has no fear She has no hope whatsoever. I'm telling you right now. As soon as I help out, I'm leaving here, clearing town. Please. Have you seen what these monsters in Hollywood can do to you? I cannot look a horse in the face after that movie.
Why is his mouth agape like that?
No idea.
Anyway, Dwayne, Selina's totally gonna abandon Bruce.
Yeah, just like she abandoned him in that Batman Arkham City.
But look at
thing.
that. Just as the sun's about to rise and okay, the climax is at daylight. In a Batman movie. Weird.
Oh, look at that. The official actually managed to get back in time. But the problem is that the inspection actually has the different Batmobiles.
Hey, Batman, maybe you might want to provide the cops some of your tech.
Maybe some anti-tank rifles.
It's funny, actually. Gotham White Knight actually addresses that.
Yeah, I'm sure that the pea shooter is gonna help you. Okay.
But hey, don't worry, she's going to free the police.
Yeah. The rest of them, anyway.
Here we go.
Is this the part where we tuck our legs in between and kiss our rear ends goodbye?
And no.
Nope.
And apparently that's enough. Batman, you may want to disable the other guns.
Ultra realistic
Maybe.
Batwing. Fire the other one. Oh!
Fire the other one.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Well, I guess that's my cue to do this.
That ass.
Yeah. Maybe I should get a cape for this now that I think about it.
Nah, Catwoman never wears capes. At least
Sure.
not as far as I remember.
There was that one era, remember, where she wore purple and had a green cape?
Forgot. No, that wasn't the Long Halloween. That was another story. And now it turned into one of those generic brawls that you see in the goofy cartoons of the 70s. Cue the incredibly over-the-top noises.
Hey, I'm just chilling out here, walking through.
By the way,
Batman in daylight looks weird.
if I recall correctly, there were some photo shoots of doing this scene, and apparently during production, the two just
Hug.
break out, start laughing, and then they hugged. Of course. And
Why
here
don't
we
you
go
just turn
again
this
with the
into a
goofy
battle
one.
of who can sound goofier?
Now we're back to Rock'em Sock'em Batman.
Seriously, why? Not Greyhound.
That product placement, man.
Wait, why would they have him crash?
And it's empty. Was
I mean,
a
I know-
decoy.
I mean, what if that did carry the nuclear device? Since it's been in such decay, wouldn't crashing it end up blowing the whole thing up?
Yeah,
Apparently not.
Dr. Pavel stated that it was still unstable after being carried out.
But apparently
Yeah.
it's stable enough to be able to stand up to physical abuse. Go figure. So, yeah, as for why they picked Bane, back to that article.
Yeah, go ahead.
With Bane, the physicality is the thing, Nolan said. With a good villain, you need an archetype, you know? You need the extreme of some type of villainy. But Joker is obviously a particular archetype of diabolical, chaotic anarchy and has a devilish sense of humor. Bane, to me, is something we haven't dealt with in the films. We wanted to do something very different in this film. He's a primarily physical villain, he's a classic movie monster in a way, but with a terrific brain. I think he's a fascinating character. I think people are going to get a kick out of what we've done with him. That's kind of ironic considering what becomes of Bane by the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Don't worry, folks, you'll see soon enough.
Yeah.
You think
Especially because the climax is actually pretty short.
Yeah. I mean, I know Dark Knight's problem was it had ending fatigue and it ends like 3 times, but this is kind of the other extreme. Oh my,
Oh,
Batman
no,
literally just
no,
slapped him. And that's his weak point. You just have to attack the mask and beg.
Not just that. Supposedly, as we've said, it administrates anesthetics. I'm not sure how those tiny vials are actually anesthetics.
Also, maybe you might want to cover something that fragile if that's what's keeping you from being in agonizing pain your whole life. Like, apparently, all he had to do was punch him in the face and he becomes a wimp.
Yeah. More like he stopped speaking straight. He was more aggressive, technically.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, this bit.
Where's the trigger? So in Batman Begins, it's where were the other drugs going? In Dark Knight, it was where are they? And now Batman needs to know where's the trigger? Punch. Where's the trigger?
Oh boy.
I'll tell you where the trigger is when you actually sound credible. Fudge you, Batman.
Throwing catchphrases.
Really, Batman? He's just saying, then you have my permission to die.
Here's the problem. We're gonna need another twist because apparently we needed it.
I'm sorry, what did you say? You could have just asked where's the trigger instead of going into a philosophical retort there.
Say
What?
hello, Talia.
Okay. Comic book lore. Talia is... Well, she's like Catwoman. She's a villain who Batman tends to have a hots for. However, here's the thing. Her father is Ra's al Ghul. Psychopathic, murderous Eternal Man. The deal with her is that Ra's al Ghul, wanting an heir, tries to get her to bed Bruce. And, well, there's this interesting storyline where she roofied Bruce, drugged him to the point, and, yeah, basically raped him to have a child. Enter in Damian Wayne, who then Talia tried to kill and murder because, well, when Damian decided to be more heroic like his father, she didn't like that. So it turns out she was a child, and Bane was the mercenary after all. Yep, remember how they had us thinking they fooled us? Turns out he was the mercenary, and he helped her get out, and this is when he got damaged so badly. Okay. So what happened to all those guards by the time Bruce escaped? Because he had no resistance whatsoever.
I'm sorry, there's also the thing, Talia in this movie is pretty pointless.
I mean,
We didn't really need her.
I mean, yeah, Talia was Talia definitely has issues in the comics. I think she's even dead at this point because basically she's kind of.
There you go. When they came back, they found Bane like that.
So it turns out Ra's al Ghul never actually did disown Bane. Actually, why are the legends that Ra's al Ghul disowned Bane?
I have no idea.
I mean, if anything, Ra's al Ghul did everything he could to help and nurture Bane.
And yet Bane got excommunicated from the League.
Oh yeah, that's right, because apparently he was supposedly too violent for the League's answers, even though the League's answers are often deaf, so how can you go beyond that?
No idea. Oh, find it.
So, yeah.
Of course, he never needs to be
I'll
seen.
be quite honest. From the first time I saw this film, I had a feeling she was going to play Talia because of her accent. The one she's using for this film.
I honestly called it from the very first shot.
So this is how Selena Kyle is going to be Bruce's love interest, because his other love interest, Talia, is kind of a murderous psychopath at this point.
How convenient. Therefore, Bruce doesn't have to take his responsibilities for that. Common theme for this movie, by the way.
I'm almost surprised that they didn't work in Damien since they had sex. Thank goodness they didn't. So anyway, Jim Gordon's about to deal with the bomb.
Finally. Yeah, that's another thing.
The slow one.
This version of Talia doesn't really have motivation. She just comes off as, oh, my dad used to have this for no reason at all.
But now I want to finish what my dad started.
Even though my dad kind of disowned me, I'm just doing it because I'm daddy's little girl. And I'm going to say this incredibly slowly and hope that this doesn't foil my plans.
Oops.
You sly dog. You got me monologuing. Gee, maybe giving all these land grandiose speeches was a bad idea. Also, what the heck is that knife made of to have gotten through his suit like that?
Vibranium?
Maybe.
Oh, here's this.
Oh god, the stupid army bit.
Yeah. Since it's an American movie, we need to have the scene where the military...
Again, 9/11. We're... He's got a point, actually. What?
No.
Just blow the bridge.
This makes no sense whatsoever, and I'm sorry. Even in real life, there's no way the military would act this stupid. Never would someone do something that would actually doom a fellow American's life like that. Yeah, totally. The guy who just outsmarted you failed. Keep telling yourself that, Talia. But she wants Bane to keep him alive. Oh, by the way, you know that whole thing about how Nolan went out about how he's fascinated with Bane as a villain? Yeah, Bane's just a patsy in this.
Of course.
Yeah. It's the same issue with Arkham City, where Hugo Strange ends up just being a patsy to Ra's al Ghul.
Showtime!
Yeah, crap.
And he's dead.
Off-screened.
And yet he's got no bullet holes in him. Well, he's got one, but on his hand.
What was even the point? Of course, Bane realizes, leaving him alive is dumb.
Yeah.
And, by the way, Bane's dead now.
That was for every bad
villain.
How anticlimactic.
So Catwoman is A-okay with killing. Good to know.
Yeah.
Since you just said about the whole no guns thing. Yeah, I do that. Also, for a guy who has a no guns policy thing, what do you call those things that just killed Bane, Batman? Unless they were made of rubber.
Yeah, Jova, rubber bullets.
Well, that's apparently Arkham Knight's excuse to explain how no one apparently dies.
Yeah, no, you cannot pull that, Talia.
You know, now that I think about it, shouldn't Lucius Fox just be able to put in a security override that could cause the place to flood? Yeah, fun fact, that's another thing how it should have ended did. Basically, Lucius Fox outsmarts the League of Shadows by saying, "Oh, well, look at that. It seems that I have accidentally pressed the self-destruct and override button. Now this place will be flooded. Well, either get to swimming or get to dying." Real honest question. What good would blowing up the bridge do in the overall run?
No idea.
Like, if anything, this would just alert Bane that people are trying to escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we
By
know
the way, if you're wondering, this thing is never touched upon, nor the military have any repercussions whatsoever.
there's literally only one story reason for it, and it has to do with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, who's a saint! But we'll get to that later.
10:23.
I feel like that's a Planet of the Apes homage there.
I think so.
Damn you all to hell!
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, at least he was smart enough to make his Batwing immune to the Tumbler's weapons.
Makes sense, huh?
Wait, you're telling me the Bat Cycle can take out a Tumbler?
Well, if he aims
Well,
at
I guess
the fuel.
And I guess to be fair, the Bat Cycle is technically part of the Tumbler.
Mm-hmm.
Although, it still begs the question why he never got his Tumbler fixed.
No ideas. We.
Hope nobody was in those buildings!
Yeah, again with another golly G Jova DC movie where there's a lot of collateral damage.
5 minutes. Well, over 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the bus.
We're gonna go back to the city within the bomb radius. I have a plan.
Like
I hope.
20% of a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, Jova. That's the thing. We just need to shoot in the reactor.
Fair point. Although, why didn't the
Which
police...
makes the question, or the villains ever managed to try doing that.
I mean, the only one who's managed to do that is Joker, and he was using explosive umbrellas.
Yeah.
Again, you can't have the Penguin, but you can have explosive umbrellas. It's not just that, it's like, well, Penguin is like Batman's... he's like, say, okay, Joker's definitely the most popular Batman villain, but Penguin's one of those ones you could consider, like,
Yeah.
in the second place range, and for good reason.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's recognizable, and he's intuitive. I mean, aside from the umbrellas thing, he's relatively realistic. Heck, in a lot of places, he even makes a good foil for Bruce as the rich boy.
Yeah. That's mostly because of these alter egos, while Cobblepot being an actual rival in terms of being a millionaire to Bruce.
And he's
At
one of the
least
few
before
villains...
he became a criminal.
And he's one of the few villains who's smart enough to have a criminal persona, but also have a quote-unquote legit persona.
Yeah.
Wait, why are you trying to blow up the van?
Because that'll stop it.
Is
When
Gordon
it
okay
blow up the
inside
nuclear
that?
device,
Of course Gordon's okay.
Gordon?
you'll kill
okay.
everyone.
I'm too old for this shit. Oh, and by the way, yeah, Talia is about to die.
How did
Like,
she
great
die? What?
Great contribution to the movie, by the
Yeah,
way.
pretty weird looking way.
Wait, this seed. So somehow she planned this all ahead and overrode it.
And also managed to flood the...
Again, how it should have ended basically has Lucius Fox doing this earlier when Bane's taking over the device and basically activates the flooding thing. Since, yeah, that
Should
would...
watch that after this.
How it should have ended?
Yeah.
Keen.
She doesn't even look like she's dying. Looks like she's out of
Yeah.
breath.
Wait till you...
She's trying to have a weird pose on.
Well, yes, they need to hear it. They may die. Am I working alone here?
But then she's clearly making you lose time. Ignore her.
Basically, what killed her was that she got
Well,
impaled.
funny. It's not even supposed to be funny. It's kind of... What a sadly funny death.
Yeah.
And how it should have ended, Jim Gordon basically says, worst death ever.
We haven't got enough time for this. I need to get away.
Not earned.
Did that do anything for you? Nope, me neither.
Seriously, the final sequence between Batman,
Oh,
Catwoman, and
this.
Arkham Knight feels more earned than this.
This is way too rushed.
Yeah, Batman, you want to cut that out? Yeah, there you go.
He put a coat over a little boy's shoulders.
Gordon, you might want to shift. There you go.
He basically just spelled it out.
And then the bomb hit his head or something. I don't know.
Oh, and
Clang.
finally, after all this time, he's connecting the dots.
Why is it that Gordon's one of the last
No.
people? Duh.
Really? It took you that long to figure it out?
Are you still there, Jova, by the way?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Guess not.
Eh?
Hope you will have to do this movie again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
There we
Joe, but how's
go.
your recording?
It's still going, don't worry.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We'll see, Jova. Let's see, Reeves. The movie's almost over anyway.
I'm looking at the timer, it's still counting.
But yeah, Batman is trying to sacrifice himself for the greater good.
The greater
The great,
good.
the good.
Yay!
It's Batman.
Look, it's a bird. It's a plane.
No, it's another
No.
superhero.
It's the Batwing.
But isn't that technically a plane?
No, it's a hovercraft.
By the way, Batman, shouldn't that plane have an autopilot? Oh wait, that's right, it does have an autopilot. We already established it has an autopilot.
We
Why
just
are you
need a
even
way
doing
for
this?
Batman to dodge his responsibility once again.
This repeats a problem from Dark Knight, where they're portraying the ending as a supposedly morally right thing to do, when you actually analyze it, it's dumb
It's
and
kinda
stupid. But hey, let's just have an Irish woman sing over a choir style for a sake of deepness.
3, 2, 1.
Seriously.
I'm nuclear. No.
Snake Eater!
Yeah, which also begs out also the question. That thing is a nuclear bomb nonetheless. Technically speaking, Gotham is now, in the way of radiation poisoning.
But
Well, they said the radius is like 60 miles or something.
Yeah,
so somehow the
but with,
Batwing managed
here's
to
how it
outfly
works.
that.
Radiations get carried, radiation waves and poison can get carried over the wind through long distances. When Chernobyl's reactor got blown up, all of Europe had some sort of quarantine in a sense that some vegetables didn't need to be eaten because of danger. So because of this, our Brave here is not going to be a cop anymore.
So yeah, the reason for that bridge burning, no pun intended, was for Joseph Gordon-Levitt to go screw the police.
Which is a terrible story arc, if I had to be honest.
So, what, is Gordon not a police commissioner anymore because technically he resigned?
No. Apparently Gordon didn't resign now.
But that letter...
Change of plans, I guess. Funeral time.
Hey, Alfred, maybe you shouldn't have left Bruce.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see the error of his ways, and now he's dead.
Congrats.
Crap.
Is he buried next to his folks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, Alfred, you did. Now please leave my grave. I am busy.
So essentially, the kid is now inheriting Bruce
Oh,
Banner,
just
the Wayne
wait.
Manor. Yeah.
Question: what does this have to do with the Gotham Police Department? These were out of forces. Why does this make him say screw off to the system
If
entirely?
anything, it says that you should be
Mm.
against America in general.
Yeah, and also, this isn't to say that you should stay as a member of the police force to try and make things better. But hey, at least Batman got that statue that he should have gotten at the end of Dark Knight, so there's that.
That statue looks terrible, by the way.
Hmm.
Oh.
Alfred gets to
Aww.
Yeah.
But they may need to be altered for restoration.
They transform into an orphanage, essentially.
Aww.
Martha and Thomas Wayne Home for Children.
Yeah. Fuck you, movie.
What's his full
Robin.
name? His legal name?
Robin.
Robin.
Yeah,
Yep,
Just Robin.
not
that's...
just that, Dweebs. Java, you want to remind us what's the actual name of the character itself?
John Blake.
Or Dick
Yeah,
Grayson.
I'm sorry. No, actually, no, Dweebs. No,
In this
that
movie,
name
he's John
corresponds to
Blake.
none of the Robins.
And here's the thing, he never even becomes Robin, it's just he had one fight
Like,
scene with Batman, and that's apparently
takes-
enough for Batman to consider that he should be the next Batman.
That takes a lot, Dweebs, because there are technically 4 Robins that will
Oh.
take people take mementos of Robin.
Okay, when I first saw this scene with Alfred, I honestly thought this was supposed to be a dream sequence. But believe it or not, folks, this is all happening.
Yeah. Not just that, Jova. Even the scene with Robin finding the Batcave, it's quite tasteless considering this is the end of a trilogy and this particular saga.
It didn't
So
help
why-
that a lot of people were led to believe that this was going to be a part of the DC cinematic
Well,
universe.
yeah, that's exactly the thing. Why do you sequel bait at the end of a clearly finished project?
Yeah, it kind of contradicts...
Just in case we make a Joseph Gordon-Levitt spin-off.
That's stupid.
Yeah, very stupid.
I mean, he's not
Well,
even going to be Robin. Oh, and look at that, a bat signal, which means Bruce is clearly alive, so... Why do you leave your city?
No idea.
Yeah, funnily enough, this film came out the same year Looper did, which had Joseph
here we
Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt be a younger Bruce Willis.
So, Selena, I was thinking, how about we just happen to sit right in a cafe in Italy in the hopes that my butler will show up to see that his dreams came true and so he can walk away and say nothing to me. What the hell?
Why does your country keep getting dragged into these kind of things, Tio?
No comment.
But seriously,
And I'm
though...
not even kidding, that's how the movie ends.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So, John's apparently gonna be Batman.
No.
No.
Just no.
What
I
a...
just call him like Bat Robin or something.
What a rushed mess. I mean, it feels rushed. It feels like the lack of love there. I mean, yes, Nolan obviously had his heart in there, but something happened. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like he wasn't on his A game with this. You know, some people may say he didn't care for this project, but all the interviews suggest otherwise. Like, yes, of course, he had to do this movie in order to do Inception, I think, maybe. But even still, he sounds enthusiastic about it, especially his pick for Bane. I'm not going to let that go, because I honestly think there are a lot better picks than Bane. And if you were going to have Bane, you shouldn't have had to change him up so much. I'll sum up my final thoughts right now. The music is good, but the story, that's a shame. The actors are definitely trying. Well, Christian Bale could work on that voice a bit, but again, the actors for the most part are definitely doing their jobs here. The problem is the story. Like, Bruce is brought out of retirement because his mother's pearls were stolen, and then that conveniently leads to him hearing about Bane. Whoop-de-freaking-do. And yeah, I get that they're trying to address some critiques that we had about Dark Knight, but they're handled clumsily, and some of them feel like overcompensation. And Alfred, dear God, Alfred is just terrible in this movie.
Mean-spirited.
And Selena Kyle, yeah, she gets to be Bruce's girlfriend, but she did some terrible things that I don't really feel she would get redeemed for. And again, poor Tom Hardy. Like, first Bane, and now he's got Venom in a movie that doesn't look like it's going to have Venom until the finale. Because, hey, let's have a San Francisco Lethal Protector movie. Before Venom, it's apparently a prequel to before he became Venom. My point is that Tom Hardy got shafted here. Like, I get that he could have done some things better here, but I feel like Tom Hardy doesn't get to play to his strengths all the time, especially during the fight scenes between Bane and Batman. And that's another thing. Whereas Dark Knight improved on a lot of Batman Begins' problems, Dark Knight Rises, funnily enough, a film that also goes back to a lot of stuff that Batman Begins established, repeats a lot of problems that Batman Begins had. Like, the camera work isn't as good as Dark Knight, the visuals aren't the best, they tend to be inconsistent, and the fight scenes are honestly even more sloppier than Batman Begins, if I may be honest. It's such a
My
shame.
thoughts are essentially the same of Jova. This is just a mess of a conclusion. And it's a shame because this trilogy had quite the potential, as I described, thanks to being detached to the ideals of a DC universe, traditional ones at least. So it's sad, but at least I guess it's over. So I guess DC moved to other things, like the extended universe, which we, at this point of recording, we know how it's turning out. So
Flashpoint. That's how bad it's gotten, folks. They're resorting to Flashpoint.
Ironically enough, that's gonna be the turning point.
Basically, Flashpoint is likely going to be used to reboot it into a DC cinematic universe that focuses more on the typical DC universe instead of trying to emulate New 52, which the cinematic universe has been trying to do.
We'll see what happens, Jova. Dweebs?
What you guys said pretty much. I mean, everything is fine except the script. And since the script is the backbone of all movies.
I mean, it's a Batman story. It kind of calls to have a good and gripping story.
And this one doesn't.
Yeah. I mean...
Shame, really.
Yeah. I mean, it goes to a point where it just gets tiring, and not in a good way. Because, okay, look, even with, like, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, those were... well, Batman and Robin was a terrible movie. Batman Forever was fine and good. But even with Batman and Robin, at the very least, the story was a bit more engaging. Like, okay, yeah, the execution was sloppy, but I could get more into a bout of Batman and Robin coming at odds with one another and Batgirl being introduced into the mix. That was at least a good outline here. Here, for this movie, what do we have? Oh, we're bringing back the League of Shadows, even though we dealt with that. Oh, we're bringing up Bane, but not having him be his venom-intoxicated muscle self. Oh, we're having Talia at the last minute, only to get killed off like minutes later. It's just... it's not even fun when you think of the overall premise. Like, they don't even do clever stuff, which is a shame.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Nolan trilogy. See you when we'll get, well, I guess back to the basics with the Batman movies.
Oh yeah.
All right.
See you then.
See ya.